are. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Roll Hit Die presents our Sunday night game, The Vampire the Masquerade, which is called The Kindred of Savannah. Let's see, before we get into tonight's episode to see what happens in the 4 days of rest and relaxation time that our characters are currently being forced to go through. The map on the middle of the screen that you see right now is brought to you through the Roll20 app. Granted, it is a Google map, but Roll20 allows me to transfer or cut and paste a character, one of my pictures, and put it onto their app to show for players, like battle maps or anything else that I make, to immerse the players and to show the viewers exactly what's going on. You'll notice the 3 little miniatures in the middle of the screen there. Every last one of those were created through Hero Forge. Now, Hero Forge allows you to create custom minis anywhere from the small miniature size to statuette size that you can have ordered and sent to your home. Or you can get if you have a 3D printer at your house, you can order just the program. Or if you're a subscriber, you can turn those into digital versions that you can use in your digital games, as we do. Another one of our sponsors that we have is GUI Cube. Now, mind you, I will reiterate this. I get nothing from any of these companies I'm giving shout-outs to. We use it, and we like using it, so I like to shout it out to people. GUI Cube is a 5th edition world called Zyathe, created by the company and expanded upon by the community that has joined over the last several years. If you haven't had a chance, go to GUICube.com and see what they have. Before long, we'll be jumping back into Chapter 4. We just need to determine when that's going to be and what players will be available to do so. We may even be bringing in 1 or 2 new Hanatas to the chaos of that game. Down below we have links for our website as well as Extra Life. If you haven't had a chance to, click on that link for Extra Life and go and help out the children of Children's Miracle Network as well as the Children's Hospitals. We leave it running year long so that you can give when you can and when you would like to. Down below, if you're watching us on Twitch, you'll notice bubbles. The bubbles down, that's what my wife, Dragon Queen, calls them, is bubbles, because it looks like a little bubble down there. You can collect points by watching any one of our programs, and as you collect those points, you can spend those points to increase the chaos in which... Sorry, my phone is letting me know that we're now live. A little late, but whatever. To increase the chaos of our Friday night game when Robert's running, our Consequences of Chaos game. Now, mind you, any 5th edition D&D games that we run, you are allowed to spend those points to help out or hurt in whichever way you wish to do so. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have anything set up for Vampire the Masquerade, nor for to organized play games on Wednesdays. Maybe, if we do a Season 2 of Vampire the Masquerade, we might decide something. Or might even put in, if you want to add some sort of issue to the board. Or something. We'll figure something out in the future and let you know. As far as announcements and such are concerned, I think that is it. So maybe we'll go ahead and jump on in. For those who are just now joining us, which I don't know how many that would be, let's go ahead and give a little bit of a introduction to players and characters. We will start with the gentleman who's currently below me on the screen. Yes.
Hello. My name is Curtis Ross, and I am portraying Dom or Igor, whichever comes up at the time. I am a Bruja. He is a vampire, a kindred of sorts. He has moved from his previous location because of paranoia, which is always great. And he seems to be the muscle/staker of the group so far. Everything's great, nothing's wrong in this town. It's perfect.
No, you guys have no problems in this town whatsoever.
No, none at all. Everything's alright. Totally haven't been hiding out the last 4 days, being as stealthy as possible, which is not very much.
Well, that brings us to our other, who seems to be out of state, apparently.
Hello, my name is Mark Scott, and I am portraying a fun-loving, partying Toreador who's now pissed off and going back to his former training when he was alive, which was Marine Corps, hoorah, and he was told that it's best that he go underground, being new to the whole vampire thing and all that. He may or may not have taken that literally. But he thought it was best to get out of town for a few days.
And what do you mean, literally?
Well, he's seen a lot of vampire movies, you know, like Dracula and all that, and the dirt of his homeland and all that. So, you know, he may or may not have went underground.
For a little translation there, he may or may not have buried himself. Not found a bunker somewhere to go underground, but literally buried himself. So, the one who seems to be trying to keep these two in line.
Hi, I play Jude or Judd when he gets angry. Yeah, he's the Nosferatu looking guy who likes to stay out of sight most of the time. And he has gotten drugged into areas of grayness where he never thought he would find himself. The betrayal by the prince really has him questioning the values of the Camarilla at this point, like they hadn't been questioned already. But like the other two, he is taken to kind of keeping a low profile at present.
Alright, so when we left off, last session, our undead heroes found themselves in a swamp trying to get away from being apparently staked by the prince of the city and his courtier out in the swamps. Once they escaped or got out of the water and was making their way towards town, they realized they were being stalked, and then came face to face with a rather large, hairy fellow that, of course, was a werewolf, and he had his pack surrounding them. They were able to, miraculously, talk their way out of becoming werewolf dinner. And he let them leave with their skin still attached, which is, it was odd, but it did happen. They made their way back to town and dealt with different circumstances. Of course, Angel went back home to grab some stuff. Let's see, if I'm not mistaken, he went home to a wrecked home. But when the others showed up at his home, the house was immaculate, and he was sitting on the edge of his bed in his towel, his hair wet, not really remembering what happened after he got home. But the house is definitely nice and clean. Now, in the process of sitting there and discussing things, they realized, I think Jed was the first one to come to it, realized that there was snipers on the roofs across the way from the apartments. And in the same time, they realized through, I think, sound and smell that there were a 4-man fire squad coming up from the stairwells on either side of the hallway. Barely making it out of the house or the apartments with their skin still intact. Well, most of them barely, because one of them was able to obfuscate and parkour down the side of the building.
A couple of us were rather charred.
Grenades do that to you. They made their way out, and did you make your way back to 51? I cannot recall.
We did.
Yeah.
And that is when Christoph made the comment about go underground. Not literally, but it was taken literally by some of you, or at least one of you.
Jude had stopped Angel from going into 51, and they found a tracking device on him. Or, more specifically in him.
Yep. So apparently during his lost time, a tracking device was planted on his person, or in his person.
Or we could say he got tagged.
He got tagged in the right butt cheek, if I'm not mistaken. And did you guys pry it out with a hanger or some crap?
Yeah, a hanger.
Okay.
Yes, I learned his safe word.
Well, it didn't mean anything to you.
Nah.
All right, so you guys have had 4 days since all that went down. Let's go ahead and we'll start with Dominique. Why don't you tell me or tell our viewers exactly what you did in those 4 days?
So starting out, almost if it was possible that night, if not the night after, he would have moved his home, and he changed locations. And Jude is the only one that currently knows the other location of it. He would not have informed Kristoff as well. But he is down at the Coffee Bluffs Marina, literally the opposite of where he was. He was on the north side of town, now he's on the south side of town. So during that time, he got that all sorted out, got his second boat down there. Everything is kosher so far. He would have spent a little bit of time trying to figure out a possible new vehicle. Probably would have done a little bit of research on what's been going on with Jude. He feels a little more empowered with his strength when he tries to push blood into it. He feels more empowered on that. And he's found out that he can literally shove his fingers into walls and stuff like that and grab onto things. And he's got an uncanny grip of sorts.
So he's gotten a little bit stronger in the last couple days.
With his, not physically, but with his vampiric powers, he can enhance his strength even more, yes. But he's talked to Proto, his contact at the car,
Chop shop?
yes,
The
chop
humans.
shop.
The human ones.
Yeah, the mortal chop shop. He's talked to them and helped them out a little bit, and he's found himself a new vehicle. A very indescript, average, you see them everywhere vehicle that he has available to him to drive around. He's listened to the scanner to try and hear for any new news of what's been going on recently. So he has spent some time at 51, if Strix is still there, listening to the scanner, though. And if there has been any small jobs out of the way, nothing major that's going to be, hey, I'm here. It's just, I'm going to do this, and I'm out of the way. No one's paying attention. He's done that. But if there has been anything with Judd, he may have tagged along a little bit. And he met his black market contact and bought a specific book that may or may not put a person on a watch list. And that's about it.
Okay, so that's not
He hasn't
bad.
done a whole lot, but he's done enough to kind of fill his time. But yes,
Alright.
he went from north near the convention center to south near on Coffee Bluff Marina.
And what kind of vehicle were you looking for? You said nondescript. I mean, you look for a car, SUV.
I think last time we checked, the most common vehicle in Savannah was like a Honda Accord of some sort, something like that. Just a generic sedan.
Okay.
You know, something that is everywhere and, you know, you wouldn't think twice if you saw it.
Alright, so just go ahead and make sure you keep that in track. You can pick whatever version you want of a sedan.
Yep.
But yeah, you've done enough boosting of cars for them that they're able to get you what you needed.
Yeah, he would have paid if he needed a little extra, but he would have been muscle in case things went south, or he would have done it on his own, or if Jude was willing to help with some of the more techie stuff.
Oh, Jude, did you help him steal cars?
I would be more than happy to help him steal cars.
Alright, there you go.
I'm getting very used to that. So.
Is there anything vehicle-wise that you would be interested in getting out of that?
Um, not at this time. Yeah, not at this time.
All right. So since you brought Judd up, we'll go ahead and jump to Judd.
Okay.
What did you do for those 4 days?
Well, I would spend the first night with Igor, Dom, but to try to lessen footprints around and chances of somebody following people back, I'm going to take some of the money and on the first night, as we get toward dawn, find a nice, you know, crack house hotel that he would be familiar with thanks to his contacts on the street.
Yeah, you find like a motel that pays by the hour.
Right, and so stay there for the day, and
Dealing with a lot of
night,
mortals doing things that Angel likes to do.
Right, right. Then start looking for places that I could. The next day, it is about trying to find a new place, and I'm going to be looking at a lot of different areas because um, cemeteries are going to be the first place my sire is going to start looking for me. So I'm going to have to find something different, and this is probably going to take me 2 nights. But I'm also staying in contact with my contacts on the street, um, making sure everyone is okay, and I am going to not necessarily approach him, but I'm going to um, go check on. Oh my God, I have just forgotten his name. The Malkavian.
Zeke.
Zeke. I'm going to go check on Zeke make sure he's still spouting off his rhetoric. Um, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave a note for Christoph that I'll be back in a couple of days. Excuse me. But I again trying to lessen footprints to places. I'm not going to go in there for the next couple of days. So a lot of my work is going to be trying to find a new place to hold up. And I've not spent my XP because I'm probably going to up my wits, since that comes up a great deal.
All right, let's see. All right, you do find a place. As soon as I can figure the address for you, I will tell it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, 4131 Ogeechee Road.
Ogeechee?
Ogeechee Road.
4131.
It's far enough away from cemeteries that nobody's going to find you. And it's close to main roads, if
so,
necessary.
Considering that I am this far away, I am going to be...
Yeah, it's a good distance out. I mean, that's up to you guys. If you find that place abandoned and nobody's actually staying in it because it looks real haunted, and you should recognize what it looks like because you guys shared a bunch of pictures of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that castle-looking old printery place.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. The Savannah Power Mat is okay. So that is perfect for me. I will stay there. But because of that, I am going to find an old Jeep that Dom's people can like repaint for me. File off the VIN number.
Yeah, with your helping him swiping stuff, there's no issue. They get you, or they tell you where to find one after you
Right.
swiped a few cars for them, and you bring it back to them. They do all that's necessary to turn it back out to you. Change out the VIN numbers, change out the engine and stuff so that the number on the engine doesn't match the number on the missing vehicle, kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
I would put in the best word I could for you, along with you helping.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much. You guys have had some sort of rapport with them, and like I said, you've been spending the last several nights stealing high-end vehicles for them.
Yeah.
So for them to give you one of these, like a Jeep or a Honda sedan,
Mm.
like yeah, sure. I mean, you go steal it, we'll make it work, kind of.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
Angel,
So that's perfect for me, and
is there anything else,
we're
Judd?
working on it.
Anything else in those 4 days?
Nope. This is just keeping track with my people.
And you guys are now currently all spread out throughout Savannah.
Yeah, which is fine. We
If
can all
anything
work
bad
on
happens,
getting together.
yeah, if anything bad happens, no one will know. It's fine. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, wait, Angel died? I guess.
Speaking of, Angel.
Yes. Well, in my 4 days, I found refuge at the Savannah National Wildlife Refuge. The first night I did take it literal and dug myself a nice little trench and kind of buried myself. Waking up, nasty, disgusting, I feel a little better, but do I really need to be buried? Anyways, I make my way right through all the way up to Springfield, Georgia, draining anything and everything I can from the ATM with my credit card, cash advances, and debit card. And then once I get all the cash I can, I destroy the cards.
Okay. Now you
My
go from different ATMs.
Yes.
Alright.
Make my way back into South Carolina.
All right.
Make it kind of look like, if anyone tracks my cards, that I'm making my way north out of Georgia.
Right. And at one point in time, you do notice you go to walk up towards an ATM machine, and you notice 2 black SUVs parked across the street from the particular ATM machine. So that's when you decide to move on to another service station somewhere or a different ATM. But yeah, you do notice that apparently they were tracking your card and were at the next ATM you were heading towards.
Okay. Once I get all the cash I can, I'll make my way back into South Carolina, hitting up Hardyville, Limehouse for like any Army surplus stores, and during the rest of 3 days, I'll go out to the gun range.
All right. And where do you say
Purchase a couple of firearms if I can't afford them. Kind of befriend some of the other folks out there, and use my Torador charm into acquiring their weapons from their home. Then I'll also sell my motorcycle, and I'll also pick up a ham radio, and you send coded messages over a variety of frequencies to see if Strix picks up on anything, and try to figure out what's going back on in Savannah.
All right, let me get that in a second. No. You said Army Navy surplus. What towns did you say?
Well, I would have got up to Springfield and then probably hit up 119 and then gone through Tillman, Ridgeland, come down through Switzerland, Hardyville, Limehouse.
All right, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or even Levy.
It looks like the best place for you to find anything in that particular. Let's see. Palmetto Army Surplus in Orangeburg is the closest one not in Savannah to where you're at.
Orangeburg.
It's further north.
Okay.
Because I put in Springfield, and that's what it gave me.
Okay. I mean,
Let
if
me-
anything, I'll go to up towards Paris Island. I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff out there.
Oh, shoot, yeah. Paris Island? Where's that at?
Yeah. Just east. You see where Sea Pines Resort is?
I see, yeah, Sea Pines Resort. I
Go
see,
straight north.
yeah,
across
Pritchard, Frippet, Hunter, Fremont.
Fort Fremont, across the bay. It's Paris Island.
I didn't see a fort. There it is. Okay, I see it. Cool. Yeah, Paris Island is a military base. There should be an army surplus or military surplus near there, as well as gun stores and strip clubs and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of the staple, or pawn shops. You can find all sorts of pawn shops there too.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, that seems to be the staple around military bases. I didn't realize that's where Paris Island was at.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I wasn't a Marine, so. So what town are we in now? Right here.
But yeah,
Yeah,
going back to that.
Okay. It's like I said, it's a lot further north than the Springfield, I think, that you were mentioning.
Okay.
But you're able to find what you're looking for.
Okay. But yeah, then I'll go back to the refugee site that's temporarily closed at that location I sent you,
Mm-hmm.
and see if anyone out there that Strix may pick up, and they'll kind of communicate in code on what's going on.
All right. Probably say on the second night, you do get a response from her. Because you're doing the whole ham radio thing you was doing before when you got in touch with Quicksilver, correct?
Yeah.
What is your name? What is your handle?
Joker.
Okay. She tells you that, yeah, there's been a lot of activity going on in the city as of late. And I'll give some information to Judd here in a minute the same way. She doesn't know all the particulars, but she does know that there have been some changes. As of right now, 51 has not been affected by any of those changes. There have been reports of headless Kindred being found around the city.
Okay.
And Judd, you do your contacts, but for some odd reason on the third night of looking around and checking, you realize Zeke's not in his normal spot.
Gotcha.
But you get the same rumors, before Zeke disappears. He tells you that the camera is all messed up right now, and he'll tell him what's going on, and both sides seem to be losing people to this headhunter, is what he calls it. And then, like I said, on the third night, you can't seem to find him anywhere.
Okay.
Alright, so this is night 5. And for any of our viewers will notice that we don't have the night listed anymore on our, since we've jumped 4 days. We're now on episode 18 instead of night 18. So, on this new night, oh, and you do you said you left a note for Kristoff, correct?
Yes.
And what exactly did the note say?
Be back in 5 days.
Okay.
On the
Then
night.
then at one point in time, Strix would have passed that information on to Joker.
Okay.
So you know that one of your friends made contact, and they will be arriving at your previous employer. Well, says that your previously employer in 5 days.
Some of the minor jobs would have been checking in with Kristoff to see if there was any minor jobs
Yeah, he just tells you
during my
to
downtime.
try to lay low as much as possible, and he'll keep you and somewhat informed of what he finds out. And
Yeah,
you'll
that
notice
would have been
every time you've gone to see him, he's always in Flush of Life.
That would have been the only contact I would have had with him then, is if he said, if there's anything, I'll let you know. One time of contact, nothing else.
All right, so you guys rise up on the 5th night.
Yeah. Do we? Oh,
I also would have topped off my blood bags, but
I would have fed on random animals.
Yeah, you would have fed on your 4 days, so you can get rid of that.
Oh, I didn't realize it was. At least I got one more hunger from that spell rouse.
You didn't fail that rouse. You should-
JT Davis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did say
Angel
you failed.
JT Davis.
Yes, I'm sorry, it did say you failed.
Yeah. J.T. Davis is my new alias. Hence the name Joker. If anyone's familiar with that movie.
Oh, the version of Joker they just recently did?
No. This is my rifle.
This is my
gun.
gotcha, that Joker.
There are
Gotcha.
many like it, but this one is mine.
I understood now.
Yeah.
Alright, so I see only one person is hungry, and you wake up. You don't have 3 hunger, you have the 1. 1 increase, so I guess that makes it 2.
Yeah.
2 hunger. Unless you killed somebody.
Not yet. But I will hate to do this since it's reserved and these are protected animals. But I will track down a lynx or bobcat and feed.
Yep, and I need you to roll me something.
What?
Give me a minute and I will tell you.
Athletics and dexterity, you would have been shot at.
Oh, no, that's not the issue. You can give me a... do we have survival? Yes, we do. You can give me a survival. And we'll say with dexterity.
Would Pep Grace give me anything to this?
Yes, it will. You can use your cat's grace. For reasons.
For reasons.
Yep, you can't reroll the blood. Is that all you got on dex and survival?
Survival's nothing. Dex should be 3.
Well, you have an extra hunger there, so... Why don't you take the hunger away and roll it again? Actually, just roll me a d10. Alright. Still no good. At one point in time while you're out hunting,
Yeah.
you do come across tracks that are canine in nature.
Okay.
But big canine, and as you're tracking it down, you realize that it goes from canine to human after a bit.
Oh.
So you realize that there may be a pack living in the reserve.
Okay.
So your survival / dex was to try to hunt something down without being noticed.
Okay.
And I will say you found those tracks, but you also found tracks to a deer, something you were able to take down.
Okay.
But now you have knowledge. There may be a pack living out there. All right,
And
so everyone is... Go ahead.
There's no harassment or molestation during my 4-day stay in there?
I'm going to say not at this point in time, because you spent a lot of time out going to get money and getting vehicles.
Yeah.
And the one time you stayed in the reserve to hunt is when you came across the tracks. So I'm going to take it that from that point on you were a little more careful about what you were doing.
Yes.
All right. So y'all have roused. What are you doing? We'll start with Dom.
So Judd, did you share with me where your new home is?
Yes, I would have.
Okay. I would definitely go and visit Judd then, since I have not heard from Kristoff, nothing like that. I would definitely visit you first. So I would park in a parking spot that is not going to be booted, nothing like that, following all traffic laws to the T.
Yeah, you know there's well, I don't think you can get into the actual storage facility that's behind it.
Yeah,
But there's
so
there is a dirt road not too far off that you could drive up and park on the side.
Yeah, so that is exactly what he'd be doing. He'd be following rules to the T, no reason to get pulled over, zero issues at all. And he would go and meet with Judd, see if everything's okay on his end, checking on him.
Everything's going fine right now.
All right. Do you have any plans for tonight at all?
Well, I think it's a good idea to go see Kristoff. You would have caught him right when he was coming back. He had run out right at the beginning of the evening, and you caught him as he was coming back. But I think it's probably a good idea to go see Kristoff.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. It's been about 3-ish nights since I've talked to him. He hasn't gotten a hold of me, but yeah, I agree. So I'm perfectly fine.
There's a lot of beheading going on around town.
Is
A lot
there
of chaos.
now? Is
Yeah.
there now? Oh no, that is not good.
I mean, the beheading seems clean, so I'm not sure if it's the wolves or something else. But we should probably go check with Kristoff.
He kind of sits there as you're saying that and rouses the blood to try and become more human-like. When you say that, it's like, well, I'm just a person. I am
a good idea.
I am no kindred, so.
Well, as I see your face kind of lush, I am going to try the same thing.
And you do it without getting hungry.
Yep.
But yeah, let's go party as normal.
People.
Yes. As normal humans.
Well, yeah.
Humans. All right, so you guys get in the car to head towards 51.
Yes.
Hey, you turn on. As soon as you turn the car on, the radio, you didn't realize you had it on. The local university radio station, WHCJ, you hear, all right, welcome to WHCJ tonight, your number one Savannah University radio station. We have a song request. The request is for Wait Beneath My Sin by Finger Death Punch, and this is dedicated to you, Julius, from your Angel of the Morning. And of course, it starts playing the song. You guys make your way?
Yes.
All right. Anything on the trip?
Do you know anything about these beheadings at all? Have you heard anything?
But Zeke is missing, which I fear he may be a victim of this.
Is it possible that just cars in town?
Could be, which is another reason why it's probably good to kind of keep a blush going.
Gotcha. I will make sure this is always up then, if that's the case. I am.
Also keep the SI off track. I suggest we kind of do a block or two around, check before we park.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Go by 51 and, take a right at this point probably, or a left, depending on which way we're coming from. Probably go through the nearest drive-through that's in the area. We're just getting, supper before we go to party type of thing.
Yeah.
And then go and park at some place for the club. We're just doing human stuff. We're getting some food, then we're going to party, we're having a good time.
Just doing human things.
Exactly. Whatever it is that normal humans do.
All right, so JT or JD, JT.
JT. I'm going to radio over the ham, uh, see if they have arrived there. Uh, Let her know that I'll be walking down 17 back into the States. Uh, yeah.
Okay, so it'll take you a little while to get wherever you need to go.
Right. Uh, it's, well, I'll make it look like I just got out of service and I'm, got my duffel bag, one hand, my USMC shirt, and I'll do Flush of Life.
All right.
Of
So
course.
you're currently at.
Back to 2, because I fed on the gear,
Yeah.
dropped me down, and then
All right. So
and it kind of do the whole hitchhiking.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd be doing.
Yeah.
So okay, give me a basic percentage roll.
Basic percentile. 21.
Okay. Yeah, you walk for quite a while before anybody even bothers to slow down and stop for you. So, let's see. Where are you currently? Why do I not remember where you're at? Oh, because I'm way too high on the map. So you said you're coming down 17.
Yeah,
All right. You actually. So let's see.
So it's at the southern western part of Savannah Wildlife Park, and then
Yep, I need to adjust it because it's giving me details for driving, not walking.
Okay.
How do I change it to walking? There we go. All right. That's not good.
What?
That ain't good at all. It gives me 47 hours. Let's try that again. Actually, let's do this. Let's see what this one gives you. Oh, because the place you're at is taking you all the way up and back down. I don't understand that.
Well, from like Ronald C. Warren Equestrian Center to Forest Park is 7.1 miles apparently.
Yeah, we're gonna go from there.
2.5-ish hours if you walk, fairly normally. 3 mile an hour ish. So 2+ ish hours at most.
Oh. How the hell do you?
Yeah, for some odd reason it keeps sending, when I do the direction, it keeps sending me way up the map to the north and then come back down instead of going directly over 17.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. Which, like I said, kind of bothers me. I don't know why it's doing that. So, let's just do this one here. And
It's usually 4 miles per hour.
yeah, so from where you're at, I mean, I'd love to get an actual notion of how many miles it is, but let's see, 2,000 feet. All right, there's 1 mile right there. So 1 mile. So we'll say it's about 1, 2, maybe 3. So it'll take you probably, we'll say an hour, hour and a half to actually walk from there to 51.
Okay. Then I won't bother. Okay.
But as soon as you cross the bridge, you got your thumb out. An actual car pulls over and offers you a ride. But it takes that long. They don't pick you up immediately.
Yeah.
So we'll say you've been walking for about an hour before somebody actually picks you up.
Good. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Will
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support. And I'll try to pull out what little money I have left to try to give.
Oh no, don't worry about that, man. Where are you going?
Well, I'm supposed to be meeting my brother at. He works over at 51 Club or something.
51 Club. He pulls out his phone. He starts typing 51 Club, and it brings it up. Oh, okay. It's 51 degrees. I don't think I've ever been there. Oh, we're just right down around the corner. No problem.
Oh, appreciate it.
And he pulls up and drops you off out in front.
I'm not the fresh and clean look that I normally have. Just I got the kick bottoms, USMC shirt, got ball cap on, rucksack, and I'll kind of walk on.
So with the hour and 15 minutes or whatever ride to get there, more than likely you'll be showing up probably about the same time as Judd and Dom, because they did take a little bit of time at Judd's place and then doing the whole drive-through thing. Do you see? How you guys dressed?
He's looking about the same. He's got, if that suit was ruined, he'd be wearing a normal suit.
It got wet and dirty. You probably could wash it.
Cleaned it, yeah. It's same old, same old. What you remember, maybe without the hat.
And they're carrying like a Burger King bag.
Yeah, whichever is nearest. Yeah. Since we're
I have no idea. I didn't even bother to
nice
check.
Burger, just chewing away, having food.
I don't think there's even a drive-through nearby.
That's fine.
I was just checking.
Yeah. Downtown, I doubt it. But we are normal humans, having human times. Noms on bird.
Normal humans. It's just funny when you say it. Sorry.
Not causing any obvious issues.
Let's see, where's 51?
It's
there it is.
Whitaker.
I got it. Yeah, I just wasn't going down far enough.
Yeah, Congress. It's on West Congress.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't notice y'all.
I'm the same as I've always been.
Okay.
Last time you saw me, I'm the same way, maybe except the hat.
Yeah. Okay. Alright then, yeah.
Yeah, big hat. I'm just dressed in jeans, shirt.
That is odd. There is no fast food joint that I can see anywhere near 51.
That's what I thought. So maybe if there was a late night opening.
Maybe on our way over.
Something. Yeah.
You pull into Starbucks.
Yeah, that's fine.
There is a Starbucks a block or two away.
Late night coffee. Why would vampires go in to get coffee? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Anything to throw people off that might be trying to trail.
No problem. I was just trying to find you something that would work. All right. So yeah, they're walking up with a Starbucks coffee in their hands and a bag from Starbucks.
Alright. I'll start walking towards them saying, bro, you didn't bring me a coffee? And where's your car? I need to drop off my bag.
Oh, you're in town. Yeah, I'll take you to it. It's parked down here.
You told me to meet you out here. Found some new club you wanted to check out?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, new club. Opens the trunk. Uh, I mean, if I knew you were gonna be here, I would have got you something. But here, half drink coffee if you want it. I mean,
I'll do like the dip it to the mouth and not actually drink it.
Make some comment about it being a frou-frou coffee and not a regular black coffee.
Yeah.
And I am going to whisper, you may want to look a little bit
A little more what?
Ooh.
I'm saying that to Angel. I'm whispering that to Angel.
A little more
JT.
what? We didn't catch that.
Alive.
Oh yeah, he's already done Flesh of Life.
Yeah.
Oh, he has?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did that
Life before I got picked up.
gotcha.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no, as you say, a little more bitter or something, whatever. It's like it is black coffee. There is nothing in it other than coffee. Well,
Let's go over to the plot.
yeah, the worst part about this is, it wakes you up like it normally does, but it just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So why don't you give me a subterfuge, Angel?
All right. Subterfuge and manipulation.
Sure.
Holy fuck me.
Holy shit, that's...
Would you like to use the
wow.
willpower for that?
I mean, there's two there.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna start busting out my D8s. Fuck this damn thing. But stepping aside real quick. Be right back. Sorry. I'm needed.
No problem.
I mean, I don't know why he wants to put his bag somewhere, but I guess if he wants to, that's fine, but...
That didn't really work out too well, but okay.
I
He got 2 successes, so he walks up. When you guys walk up to the front door, Jordan doesn't recognize him.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey.
Friend of ours. It's fine.
Oh, you want to go ahead and
First,
wheel
I
on in?
don't know if Jordan has ever seen me.
Nope, he hasn't. So you've seen that the two of you you're standing there, right?
Yeah.
So what's going on, Dom? Some new guys?
They've never really come by to get jobs from the boss. They normally get calls or something along those lines. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So they work for Boss Man.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all right.
Well, I mean, head on in. And the guy on the other side, who has Flesh of Life going as well, just kind of.
Yeah, I'll give him a light tap on the shoulder. How are you healing up? It's been a few days.
Somewhat better. I mean, of course, boss has got this fella standing here with me just in case, some more of them show up. I mean, I am only one guy, and when 3 cracked out bikers show up, it can be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, they tend to lose their minds when that happens. At least you have some good company that looks like they can handle themselves, or at least give you a hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk much, but yeah, he's definitely imposing. I still don't think I've even gotten his name. Oh.
He just looks him up and down like, I guess he might be some help in a fight. Sarcastically.
Yeah, he kind of cuts his eyes towards you. And you...
Just kind of grins at him like, yeah, I know.
Let's see. There it is. Nope, don't like any of those. So you say something about him being able to handle himself, blah, blah, blah. He's
Just giving him shit, like talking to Jordan, giving the other guy a little bit of shit, nothing to cause any trouble, just normal stuff.
I will break you.
I'm sure. But I'm not here to cause any trouble.
You're Dominic, right?
Sure.
I'm Rostov.
meet you, Rostov.
The boss is waiting.
Go inside. No reason to talk if he. That's the most he's said so far?
Yeah, Jordan kind of looks at him kind of funny. He's like, geez, okay. Rostov's his name. I didn't know he was Russian.
Apparently it's Rostov.
Do you want his full name or no?
He says Rostov's his name and boss
There
is
you
waiting. Don't care. Boss is waiting.
Boss is waiting. Get inside before I break you. Alright, let's see. What else is this? Hold on.
You might be good cleaning up cars. Brush off.
I will break you, little man.
Feel free, feel free.
Alright.
Rostov. God.
Marokovich.
DJ Hitman or is Strix running the tables?
DJ Hitman's up there. Strix seems to not be anywhere in sight.
Gotcha.
Alright, let's see. Time to...
You've been gone a while. We did leave our, purchase with her, and she's probably been listening to it. It's probably around here somewhere, so she would know anything if there's anything that's been said over, frequency.
Yeah, I talked to her a few times over my ham radio while I was underground.
Well, that's good, but I doubt she would have said anything, particularly sensitive.
No, it was all coded.
Yeah, but boss is waiting.
Alright. Any chance the prince was one of the headless ones?
Hopefully.
If not, he will be soon.
I haven't
You're
heard
on
about
your
it.
own.
Well, let's go up.
Yep.
Alright.
While we're walking, have you heard from your dad, Judd?
Nope. And I've been trying to avoid that conversation.
No, he's been kind of distant.
Well, I've been kind of distant. Not sure how he wants to meet up, so I've been keeping a low profile these last couple of days.
Yeah, it's understandable. I was just curious. Yeah, sometimes they can be the real shits, parents and everything.
I've lived with my great grandfather for about 40 years now.
by the way, you did catch at one point in time a woman in a white dress roaming around your new digs.
Oh, okay.
She didn't talk to you, but she was there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I see dead things. See? And I point to JT. See? I see dead people.
Great.
It's like, I don't know if I should believe you or not, but at this point...
So going up.
Yep. And, of course, Christoph is in his typical pose. Well, gentlemen.
Hey, boss.
Welcome back. I see that you are in fine form. I see that Angel has changed his appearance once more. What are we going by this time?
It's JT, boss.
JT. Well, I will try to remember that.
Just JT or anything specific?
Well, James Terrence Davis, but...
Gotcha, JT.
Yeah.
I was curious if that was just anything in particular, but JT.
Well,
yeah.
So I'm assuming that you had no issue with. Well, that's not going to work for me. So
You've been gone a few days. Where did you run off to?
Me?
Yeah.
Or
You.
oh, I went up north towards Springfield, drained my accounts and all that. Which apparently the prince had some folks tracking our cards, so hopefully y'all didn't use them. Once I got a bunch of cash as I could, cash them.
The word is the prince has been a tad bit busy to be tracking you down.
Well, a couple of SUVs.
Oh, that could have been SI then.
Did they have any kind of government plates?
Yeah, no government plates or.
You can give me a straight. I don't want to look at that one. Give me a straight up intelligence awareness to see if you remember.
Is there a history skill?
No, there's not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We ran into that issue last week. No. Oops. It's all gone.
Hey.
Yeah, you actually do remember them having government plates.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. It is. There's government plates on the back. So let's get that down. But just across the border there's a Savannah National Wildlife Reserve, which apparently there's a pack of werewolves or whatever. They didn't mess with me. I took your advice. I went underground. Nice little ditch. Didn't really disturb the ground that much, and
Wait a minute. Ditch?
Yeah, you said go underground.
Oh yes, I do believe I did, but I really meant more figuratively.
Hide, don't cause too much trouble.
Well,
lay
I saw
low.
like
Keep
I
a low
understand.
profile.
I understood that, but I mean, I saw Dracula. They had to bury their coffin or whatever. So that's not how things work.
No.
Not really.
I mean, looking at it like this, it worked. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Ish.
It
So,
worked.
whatever you did, it worked. So you did good.
Well, you did survive, and you are alive still.
Mm-hmm. So what's the story about the prince?
Dead, preferably, but apparently
No, not dead. But he has had to relocate his home, I suppose is the best way to put it. There has been reports that I have found or heard that kindred from both factions are turning up with their heads removed, if not staked on a building's roof.
And
is staking one-sided really, or is it just kind of generic, anyone?
It's seems to be across the board.
Okay, so we don't know if it's SI or CAM or anyone else.
Well, my fear is that the beheadings are something different altogether.
I don't see the SI staking blank bodies on rooftops. I think they're more the incinerator type.
And like I asked you earlier, if the Just Car was actually in town now.
And it does remind me
That would not be great if they
of
actually showed
reports I've heard in the past, so.
Past. How past? Between you and me, past is like a couple weeks ago. Past for you could be much different.
Yes, it's been a few hundred years.
Okay, so a few hundred years ago.
So, can you guys see that picture?
Yes.
yes.
Alright, there you go. Now you know what he looks like.
Alright.
First off,
Rostov Kristov Makarovich. Blah, blah, blah. That is the bouncer.
He grunts and doesn't say a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
Smart man.
Well, that would be a good idea to figure out exactly what our plans, or your plans, will be from here on out. The SI is here, and they're here pretty much to stay until they clear out. I suppose anything, whichever faction their eyes are set on, which I think at this point in time they only have information that they're running on with the Anarchs, since that is where they attacked first, thanks to this landslide person.
Gotcha.
Did you not say you found who landslide was?
Yep. I think she was hanging out as a gentleman's entertainer.
She was a thin blood.
Yes. What was her name again?
Anastasia.
Yes.
Dawson.
Anastasia Dawson. But she was beheaded, of course, in front of us by the prince.
Beheaded. Did he bother to ask any questions?
Nope.
So you're telling me that there's no admission of guilt?
No, she was pretty forthcoming that she hated all vampires and wanted to see them burn.
Okay, well that was to you, but she didn't say it to the prince. Or he didn't even give her a chance to speak, right?
She was unconscious. He woke her up. He off with the head.
Well, yeah.
I suppose that's one way to deal with it.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say it all since the fact that they were there when we caught her made me realize he already knew who she was,
Or they were following you.
or they were following us.
And that's the worrying part.
Did we go over the details of what actually happened at the Bowery? We did go over that 4 days ago, did we not?
It doesn't hurt to do it again. Angel, we dropped you off. What happened?
That's right, we did discuss that, because I said it could have been somebody who wiped your memory. I do remember now.
Yes.
But yeah, that's just in case.
I showed up. The hotel was kind of empty. I remember getting to my door and then waking up sitting on my bed in a towel with y'all knocking on my door.
Because you came out ready to fight, right?
Yes. Because
we let ourselves in.
Yeah.
The door was open. It was cracked open.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. When we showed up, the door was already cracked open. That's why we just let ourselves in. I don't.
Okay.
You didn't have to break in. I don't believe, right? Did you?
Oh no, I didn't break it.
But yeah, once we got in, we talked to you, and
Yeah.
I believe you said you had a blank.
Yeah, I don't remember taking a shower, but my hair was wet. I was clean. Didn't have any of that swamp muck on me.
And you mentioned something about your place had been a mess.
And then it was clean after. And it smelled kind of like bleach, right? I'm not imagining that.
Nope, it smelled like bleach.
And then I remember grabbing my go bag. Fortunately, we didn't have a chance to go because that's when.
As I showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I dropped my bag, shot up, jumped down the elevator shaft, got blown up. Almost got caught at the parking lot. Jumped on my bike and took off.
Yeah.
When
then-
you were good,
I was gonna say, and then went underground for 4 days and came back when I heard it was clear.
and I remember that Judd, when you were looking out the window, I couldn't see you, but what I could see is the lasers that were pointing in were
Yeah.
on a figure that was not there, and whenever
Right.
it seemed you moved, they moved on you. So apparently they could see you nonetheless.
Right. So they have some new gear.
Yeah. So even though you were unseeable, they saw you.
That's
And
a little
yeah,
disturbing.
A little bit more flush and a little less green.
It is a tad bit disturbing they're able to see you when you do your obfuscate.
Yeah.
But we all managed to get out of there, at least in one piece. I healed up about a day ago. Or 2 days ago. I'm fine, more or less. But them grenades, they're pretty nasty.
Yes, I've not. Well, there was that time about 50 years ago that I was hit by one, but not for the same reasons you were. So yes, they do cause some nasty damage.
Do you know where I can get my hands on some?
Grenades?
Yes.
Let me
Or
get.
any class 3 firearms?
If you're interested, I do know a guy,
Okay.
but I also acquired something that may help you with such a thing if you're able to build them. Because building always leaves less of a trail than buying from someone. Things that pass from person to person, there's always a trail.
Yeah, I
But if
can.
you buy items from different places,
My question is,
Bill.
you're asking about explosives and Class 3 firearms. What are your intentions?
Well, the prince needs to be taught a lesson on.
Oh, you're on your own, bud.
Just, if he just needs to be taught a lesson on breaking business deals.
And you think you'll be the first to ever try to teach him a lesson?
Yeah. May not be able to get to him directly, but if I can mess up his operation enough that he loses his confidants, lose confidence in him, he may get removed himself.
Just to point out something that may already be happening with all the beheadings.
Okay.
So,
And
you
remember,
would like to. You're trying to create doubt between him and the Primogen? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
By taking on his business practices.
Well, if I can't take on him directly.
I mean, that is a bold move. There's not much I can help you with it. I will tell you to be careful. My advice is for you not to do so, but you seem, and he looks up and down at the way you're dressed now, quite adamant about this course of action.
Well, he done kind of pissed me off.
That kind of happens, yes.
When not only did he try to kill me once, but he tried to kill me twice, all in the same night. And I kind of snapped.
And the rest of you, how do you feel about this course of action?
I don't want to die again. So, my advice to Angel, TJ, JT, I don't know, don't. But I'm not going to stop you. Just don't put me into it.
Everybody dies, but not everybody really lives.
Well, yeah,
but I'm going to live here. I'm not going to die again. I'm gonna
Fine,
stay.
fine.
Yes, Judd, you seem to want to chime in here.
I was just gonna say, not a smart move, but
I
you
won't.
seem to really want to.
I've calmed down,
Oh, good.
so
Because
I
my
will.
other
Go ahead.
my other suggestion would be, go find a girl that's, smoking a lot of weed, drink her, you'll get a little bit mellow.
The thing I want to bring up, Angel, JT, I don't know. You remember how badly we got shot up, blown up, hit, all of that?
Right.
He is much older than us. We are but 3 weeks old. How
Okay.
powerful do you think he is? How much of a beating do you think he can actually take compared to us who got hit with grenades? You think a simple class 3 is going to do much to him? Along with all of his bodyguards and all of the sheriff's people, his own bodyguards. Going in alone, trying to sneak in, trying to take him out alone is a suicide mission. You might be able to do some damage to him, but he could easily probably manipulate you, kill you without much of a problem. Yes, you've hurt him for a few days, but
Mhm.
we were hit with grenades, and we
Yeah.
are fine over the course of 4 days. It
Well,
might take him a day or two at best to heal up from any amount of damage you could do to him.
well, for one, I wasn't thinking about stealthing in. And two, you know, nice 203 with 40 millimeter high explosive rounds or fluorescent. Ugh. Yeah.
Isn't that what we got hit with though? Was 40 millimeter grenades? I
Yeah.
thought on the underslung grip, of the rifles, I thought that's what I saw they had was.
Yeah, those are M203s.
Sure,
But
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the damage we got dealt by 4 people. 4.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they were just mortals.
Right.
You're on your own trying to think you could do the same to him.
You're all thinking I'm going directly up to him and shooting him in the head. No.
From what it sounds like, that's what it seems like.
Well, let's just go to a different thing for right this second.
Okay.
First off, what are your plans?
Alright. Well, I have not. I've had words with the prince. Of course, I did not let him know who I was. And he came to a bit of an understanding that you are under my protection, and I enforced the fact that I am a tad older than he is. And that you haven't broken the masquerade, and independent does not mean you should be dealt with a stake in the sun. So we had an understanding. Now I don't know what, pray tell, happened with you and the issues of the other day, but I don't know if the prince actually had a hand in that. I could be wrong. But I plan to protect myself here, and if things get any worse, then I will have to relocate. I've done it before,
Okay.
and I've lived in several different cities throughout my lifetimes. But as of right now, I kind of like the city of Savannah.
Okay, boss. I won't do anything unless it's approved by you.
I mean, if you want to do something, do it stealthily,
Be
behind
smart
the scenes.
about it.
slowly cause issues, small issues that will eventually explode into one major one.
I mean, he already has.
Class 3 isn't going to do a whole lot.
He already has issues with the Anarchs, and of course that's what started this, was their issues. Just
But
try not to bring any of it back directly to here.
oh, of course not. I'll go find a new place to stay and all that. That way you don't have to worry about it coming back to you. But yeah, like what we did across the river with that human smuggling. We do things like that to the Camarillo.
Take away their food, disrupt their supply lines, from behind the scenes, little things.
Yes.
You said that you were army of some sort, Marines or something.
Marines, yes.
Think special forces, little background things that may not seem like a lot, but in the overall scheme matter once you do a lot of them.
Yeah.
You cut power to a neighborhood that connects to another, that connects to another, that connects to another. Well, you take out the little one in the back, nothing really matters. But when you cut the head off at the front, you destroy all of them because the circuit's broken.
Yes.
And it's just little stuff that finally breaks the camel's back.
But yeah, like I was saying, I wasn't trying to. Yeah, I'm not stupid enough to walk right in the front door. But, taking pot shots at his caravan, or, having to relocate house after house after house after house.
So,
You're not stupid enough. Okay.
So Crystal, do you think we need to, or would you like us to start trying to figure out who's beheading everyone?
That would be a good start. I mean, it's rather disturbing because it's across the board, and it doesn't sound like the methods of the SI.
No. You said Zeke's gone missing. Dude.
Zeke was, remind me again, who was Zeke?
Crazy.
Zeke is an Alcavian. He's the one that keeps preaching about, Jones's purpose, the Empire overlords. So he could have gotten picked up by SI, or he could have gotten whacked. No telling.
What does Zeke look like?
Give it description.
All right.
He
Vincent.
usually preaches close to here.
And
Johnson
you
Square.
hear from the air. Yes, I've seen Zeke before, and I know who he is. I will see if I can check around and see if I hear any information on what may have happened to him. Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you.
Please do so. And you can check to see if he's listed amongst any of the headless bodies have been found. Will do, sir.
Wouldn't that cause the police to have issue or something? Or
Well, that would all depend.
Crazy
I mean,
hobo.
I will. Let's just say, you're referring to all the dead bodies being found.
yes,
Yes, it could be chalked up to any number of things. The Camarillo, if they're behind it, they can always have their people, create a task force and then eventually find some poor soul to pin it on. I believe they did that just recently, if I'm not mistaken, with some homeless fellow.
Yeah. My fault there.
Yeah, that poor guy. That sucks that he got roped into this.
Yeah, I should have gotten him out.
If I remember right, he really didn't want to leave. He was just kind of stunned crazy at that point.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, him getting caught in the not great.
Yeah.
Um, is there anyone else we should worry about? Any of the Thin Bloods we should go talk to at the soup kitchen?
You know, it's not a bad idea to just go talk to them.
I mean, if they've heard anything or seen anything about anybody, if the Thin Bloods are also being nixed, that would be worth worrying about as well.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, should we reach out to Quicksilver? I mean, he apparently knew about the fall of London before it even happened. Maybe he heard something about this area.
Is Strix in town still, or is she gone?
She's downstairs working has been working the radio and listening for your, what was it, the radio that you gave her?
Yeah, the federal radio. We got a hold of.
She's been working with that.
What I'm gonna say is, let's go talk to Strix, and then let's go talk to Strix, go talk to the Thin Bloods, and then see what we can find.
I'm on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
Gaining information, there's nothing that can be wrong with that.
Well, do be careful out there. And
Is there anything you're looking for? Any information that you're not aware of that you might be interested in?
well, I would like to know for certain if who is performing these actions and if there's any bearings on what's happened in the past. So, I'd like to know if there is a Justicar here, which I'm not noticing too much. Some similarities, but not a whole lot. Usually they go after the humans first. And then they go after those who have committed the crime, per se. So, whatever information you find out about it, I would be most appreciative if you would let me know.
Okay.
But be careful.
Yep, of course. I have no issue against that.
Alright. He sits back and continues to look out the window with his hands behind his back.
We'll go downstairs.
Alright.
Go downstairs and talk to Strix, but I'm gonna let y'all pretty much do the talking because y'all know more about modern tech than Jude does. So,
Alright. I need to bring this back in. So you guys head down and talk to Strix.
Yes. Knock on the door, walk in. Hey! You miss me?
I like a stake in the heart.
No.
Yeah, I just write that down and set it on his desk and let him know that that's there.
Copy that.
And then I followed him down without saying anything to him.
Okay, why is this not loading?
I mean, have you ever been staked before?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I have been staked
Ooh.
before.
Ew. Ouch.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
Doesn't sound like it.
It's okay. I paid the gentleman back who decided to do so. What can I do for you, gentlemen? I do use that term loosely with some.
Come on now, Jude's a good guy.
yeah, right.
Information. Anything exciting happened in the last few days?
You mean besides the beheadings that have been going around?
Anything specific on the radio that we
There have
acquired?
been 2 more warehouses that have caught fire. My sources, or the web, or whatever, tells me that they were owned by shell corporations that were run by the Anarchs. Now, as far as these beheadings are concerned, they've mostly been, from what I understand, kindred from either faction. Some have been found as if the body had been tortured prior to the beheading. So maybe it's a information gathering.
Okay.
Do we have a list of who on each side is?
Yes, I've hacked into the coroner's report. Well, I say coroner's report. It's anyway. Yes, I've hacked into the coroner's report. It gives names. Granted, the coroner works for the Camarilla, therefore, the information about them not being kin, that they're kindred, has not been released. Just their names and the fact that they were found beheaded by the serial killer of whatever name they plan on giving them. Probably the Savannah Slasher, if one newspaper is to be believed.
You could give me that information. I'd love to look at it.
She sends you a data file or PDF on it to your phone.
Okay.
Could you be able to reach out to Quicksilver, see if any of these beheadings were seen prior to the fall of London, since he seemed to know about it? And maybe has he heard anything about this area?
Well, I did try to reach out to your friend, or whatever you wish to call him, and he's not returned any. I've not found him anywhere on the dark web or anything. It seems as if after your last conversations with him, he dropped off the radar, so to speak.
Would it be possible to look into death records in London around the time that he last talked to him?
Unfortunately, those were never digitized.
Gotcha.
You would have to actually go to their Hall of Records in London and see if they actually kept a file on those. What would they be? Scotland Yard, I believe, is the name of the place. And they may keep files back that long, but I doubt it.
Has there been any chatter on the SI radio?
Yes, there was several stakeouts, if you will, that were mentioned that they were been watching ATMs in different areas of kind of north of here. Tracking what they said was a blank body that may be on the run.
Yeah, that was probably me. I saw the van.
They were a little upset the other day when they were unable to acquire the 3 blank bodies they were after down there at the Bowery. And I do know that was you.
So that was the SI thing.
Well, according to the radio chatter, yes it was.
That is not good at all.
Have they mentioned anything but the headless corpses?
Yes, I know. Nothing has come across the frequency in which you gave me that indicates they have any knowledge of that. No, I mean, they have hit a few more places. Unfortunately, they couldn't get any information from searching the Bowery, for it burned to the ground from, I guess, numerous explosions from whatever was going on there a few nights ago. According to the newspaper, it was a gas main blow. But I was listening in on the frequency and heard exactly what it was. Plus, of course, your first-hand knowledge definitely lets me know it was not a gas main blow.
Yeah. Well, I know the building's blowing up.
No, some of them are burning to the ground. And once again, the newspapers are referring to it as being like faulty wiring here, or, you know, I don't say gas main below on the others, but squatters lighting fires and allowing, the fire getting away from them. So none of them have been listed as being intentional fires.
Yeah, but all the in a small time frame, quarter or somebody's gotta have some or conspiracy nut job out there. Might be onto something.
Well, like I said, your conspiracy nut job you're already in communication with has not been back on since you last spoke with him.
What's the best place to travel overseas?
Oh, excuse me?
Just saying, like, if we wanted to go check it ourselves.
Are you referring to going to London and...
Wait. You want to go to London?
Just an idea. I gotta go right a second.
The SWAT team has showed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, I've not found any more information than that.
I wonder if Quicksilver is the guy going around chopping off heads.
I doubt he's the one chopping up heads.
Well, I mean...
But every idea is an idea to look into.
Anytime.
Okay. We'll be probably going on break here shortly.
Yes, if you want, we can go on break now. It's not a problem.
Thank you.
Alright.
So, yeah, we'll take a 10-minute break. We'll be back here about 9 o'clock. So don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're back. Well, there we go. Some of us are back. It looks like two of us are trying to finish our dinner.
What's dinner? Dinner's overrated.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a snack. Okay. Should we call a car?
Maybe.
We would call a car.
Yeah, I heard the beep beep.
Oh,
Oh.
let's. Well, you've talked to Strix. Let's go on over to the soup kitchen. Find out how they're
Okay.
doing.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, before the night's end, I need to find a place to rest.
Do you not have a home that you can stay at?
Not anymore.
You can stay over with me tonight.
At the cemetery?
Oh no. You remember that old powder storage place, the old brick building?
Oh, you secured that for?
Well, for right now, yeah.
Okay.
It's less of a cemetery and more of a temporary,
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's needed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll crash with you.
No offense, but I'm a little paranoid and
No problem. No problem.
All right,
Just
so what are you guys
be
doing?
warned, there's a ghost of a woman that's from there. Just if she appears, just ignore her.
please don't try and seduce her. But I won't be there to stop you.
I don't think you're gonna get a lot out of her.
But he might. He's awful persuasive sometimes. But please
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a Ghostbusters moment here.
She is dead. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Right. But I seduce in order to feed. I can't really feed off of
Ectoplasm doesn't taste all that good.
You could always try. I'm not stopping you. I'm not saying no. But I am
Besides,
saying
ghosts
please
aren't
think
real.
about it first.
Oh no, they're real.
He's talked to his grandfather for who knows how long now.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was just crazy.
Oh no.
I don't know anymore.
But
After
anyway,
some of this shit.
let's go on off and talk to the guys and gals over at the soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen. Okay.
Sorry, Strix. You have a good night. We'll talk about crazy shit away from you.
I appreciate that. Now, be safe.
No promises.
I told the boss I wasn't going to do anything without his approval.
Well, that's always a good idea.
Again, no promises.
When they blew up my apartment, they killed Johnny, so I was pissed.
They killed who?
Johnny.
Well, most of them were given the night off, so you shouldn't worry about that.
No, Johnny's my pet goldfish.
Never mind, your goldfish is gone. So you should not feed on the goldfish.
I wasn't going to feed on him. He was my buddy.
I don't believe
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's pretty much what Strix says. She goes, okay. And then he goes back to the computer. And you see this time she's not just messing on, she's actually mixing some things.
Good.
so let's go on over to the soup kitchen.
All right.
Alright.
You guys make it over there, and you got the typical crowd. Let's see. Actually, the club is real hopping because it is now currently Saturday night,
Okay.
I think. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Tuesday when you guys had your encounter. No, it's
Sounds
Sunday.
about right.
It's Sunday. Oh no, it's Saturday night, Sunday morning. Blah blah blah. All right. So you head over to the soup kitchen, and there's a line. People waiting to go eat. And this is the Thin Bloods one, right?
Yep.
All right. So you guys make your way in.
Mm-hmm.
You need to wait in line with the rest of them if you want any food.
No, we're not here to eat. We're here to talk to The folks that run the place.
Yeah, I cannot find their names. I know I wrote them down.
Looking
Okay.
for.
I wrote them down too.
Yeah.
I thought I did. You're looking for shit? Go out in the alleyway out back. There's usually some back there.
I did not write their names down. Why did I not write their names down?
I have Sebastian and Candace, but they're not Benblood.
Huh.
We're looking for the people that run the place. Flash $100 to the person that's saying we have to wait if they're the people running the place.
Okay, well, this is messed up. I thought I wrote them down too, and I cannot seem to find them in my notes.
I see a homeless guy that was rambling about Zeke named Jimmy. That's not it. The sheriff, that's not it. I am offering them money as a bribe.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take it.
I hand them the money.
And they tell you they're in the back in the kitchen cooking right now. And if you guys find the name, please let me know.
Yeah.
I am
Because,
missing.
like I said, I thought I wrote them down, and apparently I did not either.
I am missing their name personally.
Well, we're going to just give them some new names.
Well, I'll go back later and check the stream, see what their names are.
Okay. Yeah, I could not. I could've sworn
It was two
I
guys
got
and two girls.
saved if I did this.
Yeah,
But
that's all
anyway.
I know.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
We're doing all right. Just making the food. Oh, it's you guys. Well, I recognize two of you anyway.
I point
This
over
is-
towards Jude.
So this is JT. You might remember Igor.
Yeah, I remember Igor, and you guys had another guy with you last time. But anyway, what can we do for you?
Well, one, just checking to see if y'all are safe.
Yeah, we're fine. We had no problems. I mean, just
Y'all haven't had any, no issues here. Nobody's.
that we kind of like, if you're referring to any of the issues between the Camarilla and the Anarchs, we kind of try to stay out of that kind of stuff.
Well, I know, but that's why I'm checking on y'all. I want to make sure y'all are safe.
Yeah, we make sure we keep our noses away from any of that stuff.
I look at the guy who said the names and I say, the who?
Yeah, them.
Well, no. Y'all know Zeke, right?
Yeah, how is Zeke doing? I ain't seen him in a few days.
Well, exactly. So you haven't seen him either.
We saw him like 3 days ago. He came in and was doing his preaching thing. And then he left. I mean, he, of course, he didn't grab anything to eat when he was here.
Yeah.
Well, let me take that back. He did. We took care of him on the back door. But, that's beside the point. He went on and supposedly was heading back to his normal soapbox to do his normal...
Okay. Well, thanks.
Do you think the Camarilla finally got tired of his preaching?
Well, I'm hoping not. But, no, thanks. I'll probably check in a couple days to make sure everything's still okay.
Okay, well, you know where we're at.
Okay. Do y'all have anything else here?
Nah.
Okay.
Y'all haven't heard anything, right? Nothing.
You're still talking to them in the
Room.
kitchen, right?
Yeah. Any rumors or conspiracy theories or?
We just stay pretty much around here feeding, the homeless and try to keep our
I didn't
noses
know
out
if
of
any
anything
of the
else.
homeless may have said something odd or strange.
Not to us, but you're more than welcome to go out and talk to a few of them. Just remember, some of them might not want to talk to you because,
Well, I will go out there because, with my influence on the street, a lot of them might actually know me.
All right. So why don't you guys give me some sort of communication-based role? Let's see what I want to do.
Well, the other thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm looking at them to see if any of them don't fit in.
Alright.
Like, their nails are too thin. That type of thing.
Give me a
Investigation.
works. What was this?
You said communication, so
You sip their food and gives them information.
Yeah, that's all I do. I don't do.
And then I will also do what the same thing. Talk to them.
But a little bit more salt.
All right. So, telling the people
That's
who are cooking.
The thing.
Yeah.
The cooking.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me your investigation intelligence, I guess.
Investigation, intelligence.
Unless you.
Yeah, intelligence is fine.
Charisma will work too.
Oh, no, intelligence is fine.
And you're doing what with the persuasion there?
just talking to the folks, see if anyone has seen anything odd or strange.
Alright, so we'll get in that in just a second. With your investigation check, you do notice two homeless people that are sitting off in the back corner. Their nails aren't really all that dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell their hair's been cut, but tousled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they seem to sit a little, straighter. And when they're sipping at their food, they got their hand like around the front of the bowl between them and the other people, and they're just kind of slowly eating at the food and looking around. Seem to be looking around more than anything else.
Well, okay. Just because, not just because, I'm going to go over and talk to them. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Y'all seem to be new around here.
Yeah, we're just trying to eat our food. Yeah.
Huh?
We're just trying to eat our food.
I don't know. I'm Jude. I'm around these type places a lot, just trying to help people out.
Yeah, we're good though, thank you.
Are you sure? I mean, you look new. Are you?
Your friend looks like he's going a little crazy though. And he's like reaching up in the middle of nothing and grabbing things that are not there.
Oh, he's like that. I mean, some people are a little touched, but no, you seem fairly new here. So,
I mean,
what brought you to Savannah?
our feet.
Well, okay. Now, are you looking for work here? Are you
No, we're just passing through.
just passing through? Okay. Well, good luck. If you need any help, there are a lot of people around town that can help. And he starts mentioning places like missions and things that can help.
And it seems like they're not really listening to you. It's almost like they're trying to ignore you.
That's kind of why I'm watching them and learning their faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can tell that any stubble that's on their face is just maybe a few days old. You can actually notice if you, as you're looking at them, like maybe some razor bumps or whatever. That's the hair's just barely covering up right on their, underneath their chin.
Yeah.
So up until recently, they were clean shaven.
And then I'll go and talk to some of the other people. Same general thing. Hi, how are you?
You get a couple different things. Like I said, Angel was doing the whole try to get information. One guy was real adamant about things that he saw the other night about the UFOs that always seem to be flying over the river right over there, and the bright lights first thing in the morning on top of the buildings that are near the river. It's got to be the UFOs picking people up.
I'll write this all down.
Are you a reporter or something?
I'm a vlogger, and I'm just, writing about the strife that goes on with the homeless here and things they have to deal with that people really don't take them serious about.
So JC is a vlogger, got
So, questions.
I am going to go into the back and mention to the people about those two over in the corner.
Yeah, what
Just,
about those two?
nails are a bit too clean, stubble from a razor, hair recently cut. Just keep your eye on.
And one kind of leans out the door a little, looks their directions. Okay. Who do you think they are?
Well, no. What I'm saying is just keep your eye on them. Not sure what they are. Could be police. Could be undercover.
And you can tell right now that they're afraid.
Don't y'all are doing good work.
So, what's the kind of questions you're asking the homeless? The questions that are being asked towards the homeless.
Me or him?
Whoever is doing the questioning.
Oh, I'm just asking them. Basically, are the streets safe for the homeless here? Have they seen anything odd? What can we do to, you know,
What could people do to help?
to help? Yes.
Okay. Well, you got the one guy that swears up and down that there's aliens amongst us. And he knows this because the men in black have been around. He's seen them himself.
Okay.
And anybody who's seen it, he looks around, all suspicious, like anybody who's seen the spacecrafts and the lights on the building, the skies. The men in black come and they take them away.
Okay. Good to know. I'll make sure to leave your name out so they don't.
Well, that's easy because I've not given you it yet.
Okay.
So I'm not going to.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So, what kind of blogger or vlogger or whatever this thingy thing you're talking about are you? Because I mean, you look like you belong out here with us.
Well, yeah, I just recently got out service. I was kind of a pencil pusher there, and
Have you got a place to stay?
well, my cousin is just down the road a bit, so I may see if I can stay with him. But if anything, I got me a little pop up and a bedroll.
Well, I mean, I've got a tent over underneath 17th Street that I tend to sleep in. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
sure there's.
Is that where a lot of the folks stay at?
We have a few that stay out there, but they're kind of spread all over.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll see you out there if I can't find a nice soft spot.
And then he starts listing off the different kind of homeless shelters and soup kitchens and who's got the best what on what days.
Okay. I'll start writing all that down.
Yeah, Sister Mary Margaret has Taco Tuesdays.
Okay. Any other further questions you wish to ask these people?
So nothing strange, no.
No, nothing more than like I said, the men in black taking people away.
Okay. Alright.
I mean, what's
And
gonna be
then
more
the
stranger than
black-
alien lights over the river and such?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now. Strange.
Uh,
What kind of
yes,
strange
that
are you
is
thinking
strange.
about?
Oh, just anything out of the ordinary.
Wait,
I'll
Does a-
interject
does-
and ask about Zeke.
Zeke. Men in Black got him.
Hmm.
I'll nod and I won't say anything more.
Yeah, they got him a few days ago. He was in the middle of preaching, and they just, pulled up in their SUVs, got out, grabbed a hold of him, threw him in the back of the vehicle, and drove off. I'm sure they're gonna go wipe
what?
his memory and or maybe put him in one of those CIA black sites and torture him till he realizes that they brainwash him, make him think he didn't see any aliens. You know how the CIA and the government are.
Yeah. So what river was did you see these lights
That one.
over?
Over there.
Oh, okay.
And he points
I'm looking
towards
at
the
them.
one that is right there next to y'all. I mean,
I have no idea where we're at.
I will go to the map and I will tell you it's the Savannah River.
Oh, okay, Savannah River.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that is the closest river to where you guys are currently at.
Okay.
Yeah, I was down there by the Fiddler Crab House, trying to get some leftovers out of the trash can there because I missed mealtime here, and I saw the lights, and there were some on the roof of the Regent where there were. I mean, I'm sure they're beaming people up to abduct them and perform tests and stuff on them.
Okay.
Of course, it was odd. They were doing like early in the mornings, but it was bright enough that I could see it. And their ships are cloaked too in the daytime.
The ships float?
Invisible, cloaked.
Oh.
Like a Romulan ship.
Okay. You didn't strike me as a Trekkie.
I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. And now, every now and then, I can pick up the reruns and stuff over at such and such shelter when they, let us watch TV.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, that's about all the questions I got. If y'all have any.
My big thing is just talking to people and finding out how they're doing. I'm letting JT do all the hardcore.
You said strange. What do you consider strange? I mean, you already keep saying strange, and I was talking about aliens and stuff. I mean, what else would you consider strange? And you get the general consensus that everything seems to be fine, other than some of the same information you get, like I said, about the headless. Some homeless may have come across a headless body at one point in time, and I thought that was a little odd. But other than that, most of them are doing all right.
Okay.
But yeah, the guy asked you the UFO nut. So, what do you consider strange?
Well, I started hearing about all these bodies showing. Do you think the aliens are doing that?
No, I don't think aliens abduct people and take them away. They don't cut their heads off and leave them laying around. That's not how aliens do it. Then again, it could be that redhead I saw, but she's probably just a cosplayer.
Redhead?
Yeah, I saw a redhead walking down near the river. Now, this time, of course, I was over at Ruth's Steakhouse and digging in their trash. But yeah, she was walking down the street and had a sword on her back. So I figured she was some sort of cosplayer.
Oh, can you describe her costume or what she looked like, other than redhead?
Well, I mean, I can certainly try.
Uh-huh.
She had red hair, green eyes. She had a black trench coat. I want to say some high boots. Some weird looking blouse and leather pants. Like I said, she dressed like some sort of goth. I don't know. Those college kids. They do all this weird stuff.
Oh yeah. What is it called? Larking?
Yeah, I've seen several of them do some LARPing down on Abercrombie Street or Abercorn Street. They like go out there and they hit each other with these toy swords and stuff. I figured she's just one of those.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Is there anything I can do for you?
You got any money?
Yeah, I got a few. I'll pull out about $25 and hand it to him.
That's not all you got, is it?
I got maybe another $10 on me.
He'll reach over and he'll grab the 20
Mm-hmm.
and slide the 5 back to you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you. This will at least get me I can go to the truck stop and get a shower or something.
Okay. Yeah. I'll point over towards Igor. I saw him flashing hundreds earlier. He
Yeah,
might be able-
I only need this. This is fine. Thank you, though.
All right. You're welcome. If I come across any more, I'll sure to swing by and look you up.
Oh, no, this is perfect. I appreciate it. Just watch out for them aliens.
Will do. Oh, should I get some aluminum foil? See if
That
they have
doesn't
aluminum
work.
foil?
That's just stupid movie stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
where did he see her at? Sorry.
he said you just saw her walking down the street near Ruth's Steakhouse, which is located at 111 West Bay Street.
Okay.
He said she was heading down towards the river.
I'll thank him for his time, and then I'll kind of walk out.
Okay.
Eventually, I'll walk out.
All right, y'all are outside.
Looking at Igor and JT, or Mini Penny.
Yes.
A little bit, not a lot.
Well, what did you learn?
That Zeke was kidnapped by the Men in Black, but that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I learned.
Well, our ninja assassin is probably this redhead, green-eyed woman that's in a black trench coat and leather pants. She was last seen over by Ruth's Steakhouse on Bay Street. Oh, and there's apparently aliens. There are some bright lights on the building flying over the river. So, and they apparently are Klingons because their ships are invisible.
No. Crazy man said Romulan.
Romulan, sorry, Romulan.
Also, there were two guys over in the back corner who were agents or police or something.
Should we
That's not...
wait and follow?
We can, or we could just go on off and see if we can see this redhead at work.
Okay.
I think trying to find whoever that redhead is that would be causing troubles is the best idea, personally.
Yeah.
And if you can get a message to Christoph, you might want to give the description to him.
I have no phone.
Yeah, I look at my phone and just redhead,
Green
you know,
eyes.
bare minimum description. Red hair, green eyes, black trench coat with high boots, strange blouse, leather pants, near address.
And leaving out the key and element.
It would be
Or
with,
back.
yeah, with the sword, you know. What was said, I would send just the minimum that makes sense. But
And
you
you,
saw the
you-
black trench coat with the hair and the sword and all that.
You get a response. Thank you. I'll keep an eye out. All right, what y'all doing?
I think we should go start at the riverfront and just kind of take a tour of historic Savannah.
Okay. I'm
I'm
for all that.
perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that.
So you guys head towards the riverfront, start walking.
Yep,
Mhm.
and I gain a little bit of hunger as I go this way.
Okay. You do recall a building was mentioned, right?
Yes, Ruth
Ruth.
Chris's.
Yeah, Ruth's.
Ruth Chris's Steakhouse on West Bay.
No. I mean when he talked about the alien lights.
Oh, the Hyatt Regency.
And making sure you remember him saying he saw a bunch of lights on the top of there.
Right, and that's right across the street from the Hyatt Regency. Or sorry, Ruth Chris's.
Yes, it is.
So we can look at both.
Okay. Well, you make your way over to Ruth's, and got a decent crowd. It's not that many. It's not because it's not a club. It's starting to get a little late. But yeah, you're there. And what are you doing?
I'm going to be out
Mhm.
and looking back there, especially in trash cans.
All right. So give me an investigation.
Intelligence again?
Sure.
Three.
Cool. Not bad. Yeah. There's a couple decent sized dumpsters back there.
Mm-hmm.
You find in the dumpster that is marked Ruth's some half-eaten steaks and potatoes and definitely some leftover food that was just dumped in there. About 2 or 3 dumpsters down, you find a headless body. Actually, you just find the body. You don't find the head.
Right. Grab the wallet, if there is one.
You search the pockets and find no form of identification.
Okay. Take a picture of the body, and because I don't want more.
With your 3 investigation, I will state you've been to the coroners and you've overheard him talking different things about dead bodies and what happens to them when limbs are cut off after the blood quit flowing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you realize that the wound around the neck shows no sign that there was any blood flowing through the body at the time the head was removed.
Okay.
Meaning the person was either dead or... Now the clothes...
Or drained of blood beforehand.
Well, you see there's coagulated blood in the wound.
Oh, okay.
But the clothes, of course, are somewhat recognizable.
Okay.
They are it's a biker cut, and you recognize it as being one of the sheriff's men that the dress that most of them seem to wear when they're out riding.
Okay. Mainly because I don't want the police to have more fodder for this. I am touching the body with my blood, putting a cross on its head, and letting it dissolve.
All right. So yeah, the body just kind of starts to dissolve in front of you and is gone.
So,
What the rest of you 2 doing at the time he's back in the alleyway?
I'll be up the front looking around at the surrounding buildings, kind of the rooftops, see if I notice anybody looking
You
over or
you don't see
looking
any-
out the window.
You don't see anything.
Okay.
I'd be scanning the crowd for anybody suspicious looking, any men in black, that type of thing that aren't normal people going in just to eat.
Yeah, at this point in time, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, then that's all I'd be doing. since we're here staking it out to a degree.
Is there a view? Oh, we're on West Bay, aren't we?
West Bay and whatever the corner is.
111 West Bay Street.
Whitaker Street and West Bay is the corner.
Okay.
I don't think we have it on this map.
It is 2 blocks up from 51 degrees.
Alright. I'll kind of mosey on down to the World War II memorial that's sitting there and kind of like look at it and just keep an eye out for anything strange. It's right across, or right next to the river.
Yeah, I see it. Right next to the Hyatt. All right. Well, do you let anybody else know you went there?
Yeah, I will let Igor know.
All right. Judd, about this time, I guess you can come back around the building.
Okay. And do I see Igor?
I think you see Igor's where? Where's Igor? Stuffing his face at a booth right next to the window. And I guess you probably catch a glimpse of Angel or JT, whatever, walking away.
Okay.
We caught you just as you got a mouthful, didn't we?
I'm gonna text Igor, and just check out the top of the Hyatt.
He texts back with an affirmative or an okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Stay there. I probably can do this faster, myself. And I'll take pictures. Oh, and I will also send you a picture. Well, I'm not going to send a picture. Just say, headless and back. Dealt with.
Okay.
And I will go into the Hyatt and being invisible, I'm going to go over to the workers elevator, the service elevator, because that one should get me up close to the top, and I will unlock the door and go out to the roof and find out what's going on.
All right, so give me an investigation up there.
Okay.
And let's see if I can find. Where exactly would that be?
That's 2, but I would like to make this a little bit better. So, 4.
That works. I was just trying to see if. Okay. I think that's right. You're going here. There it is. Right? Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's it.
All right. So yeah, you make yourself. You wake up. JT says, "Don't kill him yet. He needs to step away." Gotcha. I'll wait till you get back to finish you off. So you get up to the roof, and you're looking around. With the 4, you notice in the back, closer to the riverside, you notice a lot of ash.
Okay.
Just like
so. Go over there and look. Do I see ropes? The remains of ropes or chains?
No. But you see, they're not conformed piles of ash. It's more like they've been disturbed. But it's not been cleaned off the roof or blown away or anything. But yeah, there's some ash on the roof.
Okay. I'm going to look around to see if there's any evidence of who might have been up here.
All right. don't see where you'll be able to find any way of doing so, other than the fact you know you had to unlock the door to get up here.
Yeah. Then I'm going to go back down, and I'm sure that there is a security office.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're able to find one.
And I'm sure that there are some people in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they're looking at screens and stuff. The truth is, Judd does not understand how modern tech works. Um, so he does not understand about the hard drives and stuff. But there are monitors. Do I see any monitor that goes to the roof?
You see on several monitors, you can see elevators. The camera in an elevator recording people going up and down. You can actually see that there was a camera in the service elevator that you were in, because you can see where maid goes in it and gets off on another floor.
Okay. But they wouldn't. The reason why I'm thinking is they wouldn't have videotapes out, so it would all be on hard drives, and I have no way to hack a hard drive, or have no understanding of how to even do it. So with that information, I will then go back out and find Igor again.
Igor's still in the same spot.
Probably at this point, trying to be nondescript, just looking out over the river, a block away near the steakhouse or wherever it's at.
All right. Are you closer to the Hyatt, or are you further away from the Hyatt?
Probably a little bit in between, but probably a little bit closer to the steakhouse.
Yeah, this has a boulevard basically in between. You might see what looks to be trees. This is a boulevard street, and there are lots of benches in these areas. I mean, like, there's Oglethorpe's bench right in front of
And
the
you
Hyatt
know,
Regency.
Yeah, I'm probably right there at that point then.
and he's, Angel's over at the memorial that is just right outside the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be nondescript, but just, trying to look like I'm taking in the views.
Okay. I'll sit down beside you and whisper. There are ashes on the roof. There's a camera on the service elevator to get you up to the roof. I have no way of figuring out how to get any of that information off of you.
Oh, stretches. You could just steal the hard drives.
Okay.
Just pull the hard drives out.
Okay.
I could get up to the roof without taking an elevator, but it's kind of obvious.
You don't need to go to the roof. There's nothing else up there. It's just getting that hard drive. Problem is, I don't know, exactly what a hard drive looks like.
Just stretching and kind of talking to myself. I'm gonna pull out my phone and just be like, my computer's starting to, die on me. Just talking to myself, kind of nonchalant, and I start scrolling through my phone, and I pull out, just looking through hard drives, like computer hard drives, laptop hard drives, server hard drives.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly scrolling through every last hard drive he could think of with his one in technology. Just slowly doing it, looking at it and talking to himself quietly.
Yeah, you see listings for commercial hard drives. What do they call them? A server.
Yeah. And like at some point he'll pause for a moment and then start looking at servers and where they might keep hard drives in servers, that type of thing.
Got it. I'm gonna go back to the car and pull out a crowbar. Because no idea what I'm gonna need to get in there. Because I have my other tools. Go in and
You got one.
Is,
Yeah, there's all these monitors. There's like one guy sitting at the desk, quiet, looking at them.
Huh? Oh, looking at the monitors.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm gonna.
looking around the room, you can see what looks like a server, in like a closet type area next to the, not too far from the monitors.
Okay. Well, luckily I don't make sound. I'm stealthy, so I will sneak in, and I'm going to see if there is a way for me to get this server out without, using the crowbar.
Well, you notice as you walk in there, this server is like a cart on wheels. It's got different devices stuck in different shelves. And you know what a server looks like.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if Judd knows how to pull a hard drive out of those particular servers. He just sees
No.
the
I'm looking
boxes.
at the server.
Yeah.
If I could carry them, I'll just unscrew them and carry them out of here.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them with a bunch of wires and stuff running to the back of it.
Okay. Then I need to have some time. I mean, does it look like I'm gonna have to rip them out, or can I unscrew them here and then get ready to rip them out?
Hold on a second. Let's see. All right. I don't know if this will work. Let me just try to copy the image. See if it'll let me paste the image. Nope, it won't let me paste the image. Let's try this.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea of how big the server is.
All right. There you go. That's about what it looks like.
Where am I looking?
Should be in the middle of your screen.
Ah, sorry. Okay, so these are just server racks. And you said there are 4 of them?
Yeah, there's 4.
Okay, so
And they have the them. Right, they have the screws in the front, wires in the back.
Okay, but I could unbolt them easily now, so I don't have to deal with it later.
Right.
And so I'll stealthily unbolt them.
Okay.
And then sometimes the oldies are the best. I am going to go and pull the fire alarm.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, it gives me about 5 minutes.
The guy's like looking through all the cameras. He's like, I don't see anything. Where'd that fire alarm come from? But they don't have a system set up to tell you which fire alarm was hit. So,
is he running out?
He gets up and heads towards the front. Yes.
Okay. Then at that point, since I've loosened them, I'm just gonna start pulling them out. I'll just yank wires out.
Mm-hmm.
And
sparks start flying.
Yeah. And take them with me.
All right. And the moment you pull them out, they're invisible, right?
Well, once I get them on me, yes. And what I'm going to do is just use my coat to cover them and carry them out.
All right. So yeah, sure, it happens.
Okay. And I'll take them back to my car. Or, well, whichever car we're using.
I think you guys said you were in his car at the moment and it was parked somewhere.
Yeah,
okay.
The nondescript vehicle.
Okay.
Wherever
so I'll come back out and
50
pass by and say, can you get me into your trunk?
Oh, he just kind of stands up, stretches, and starts casually meandering over to his vehicle.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll dump the servers into the...
You pop the trunk, and a few seconds later, after you've opened it up, you see 4 decent-sized servers dropped on the back of in your trunk.
Sorry, didn't know what I needed.
Doesn't really say anything, just kind of takes his jacket off.
And you did, at one point in time, see all the people coming out the front door of the hotel, and you can hear the fire trucks coming.
It did the job.
Hey, exactly. I mean, I might need to learn how to be a little bit more subtle with this. Maybe brush up on modern technology. I'm sure Strix would give me a crash course.
She might if you ask her nicely.
This is the on button. My computer isn't started. Have you tried the on button?
Have you plugged?
Oh yes.
Have you plugged it in yet? Look for the cable that's plugged into the wall. Is it still there? Oh, you haven't put it in yet. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably why it ain't coming on. All right. So what is Angel? You hear sirens and a fire alarm going off the Hyatt as you're standing there at the World War II memorial.
I'll turn and look.
And you see all sorts of patrons coming out the front door, and some coming out the sides.
I will walk out, kind of scanning the group, see if I notice any redhead, and head over where I last saw Igor.
Okay, you see no redhead. Well, you do see a redhead or two here and there. But none of them dressed.
But none with a sword.
Yeah, none with a sword. None of them dressed in black leathers. One's wearing a sundress. The other one looks like she's got a robe on. Apparently, she was taking a shower when the fire alarm went off.
Okay.
The other one is just jeans and shorts, or shorts and t-shirt.
I'll just kind of, since I don't see Igor at the restaurant, I'll kind of mingle into the crowd and use my heightened senses to see if I hear anything that, just anyone.
You just hear a bunch of grumbling patrons wondering who set off the fire alarm? Is the place on fire? Is their stuff gonna be all right? No, I don't see any smoke.
Is there anyone that's not complaining?
I mean, you've got a few people that don't complain because it is what it is.
There's Southern.
It'll all be all right. Ain't no problem here. Come on, Chef.
Just, see if I see, basically just sensing if,
You're not picking up anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
You do hear what, at one point in time, like way off in the distance near the building, somebody say, "The servers are gone." And that's about it.
Maybe there are aliens. I'll just hang out there.
You said he was heading back towards Igor?
Well, last time I saw him, he was in the restaurant.
Yeah, you start heading back that direction, and you see him get up out of a bench, maybe half a block away, and start walking towards his car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll head over to there.
Opens up his trunk. You can see that something gets put in the trunk, and he closes it.
Apparently, aliens are stealing technology as well. I overheard someone saying the server's gone.
They are? How horrible.
Aliens? Well, you gotta be crazy to believe in that.
Well, that's the hotel that had the strange lights floating over them, according to the guy.
Oh, well, there
Which
are
was what
ashes
they
on
had.
it.
Oh.
There are ashes on top of that one, so I think the lights might have been some vampires going up in a smoke.
Okay.
Excuse me, some kindred going up in smoke.
That would make sense.
I'm surprised they still even had servers. I mean, nowadays, everyone goes to cloud services.
Well, we are in the South,
Wait,
and
the
sometimes
cloud
we like to do
sources.
things a certain kind of way, so.
Cloud servers.
Yeah. They back up everything to the cloud. The servers are in the clouds.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we'll
you
explain
can't
it
see-
later.
Yeah, you can't see Jude's reaction to this. It's like,
How do you put things in a cloud?
There was a
Yeah,
question, then there's no answer. It's like,
and now y'all think I'm crazy for talking to dead people. Storing things in cloud.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Up in the clouds.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, those.
but
Okay,
a
fine.
digital cloud, not a real cloud.
Let's just skip this for now. You know, if y'all could get these to Strix, maybe she can figure out something and see if there's any evidence of people going up there, or I have a feeling it probably has gotten wiped, but, you know, we have it.
Well, it's only like a block away, so we should be able to reach it pretty easily
Yeah,
without much issue.
so that's fine.
But it'll be easier to carry just the hard drive versus the entire server, but the entire server may have information on it.
Okay. Well, just tell me what I need to take apart and I'll do it for you.
Let's just take the entire set of things to her.
Okay.
All of them.
And so I'll grab them back up and we will go over to 51.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys make your way back to 51.
Mm-hmm.
And go down to see Strix.
Are there any Camarilla floating around?
Give me a investigation awareness. Or
Investigation.
wits
or
and
wits
investigation.
awareness?
I mean, if you're actively
more
looking,
focused.
that's what I'm asking.
Yes. Just trying to find anything.
I am more focused on just getting these downstairs, so I am not looking.
Nope.
Would your awareness be better than your investigation?
It would add one more. But that would be a hunger die.
Okay, so it wouldn't be 3, it'd be 4.
Yeah, D4.
Go ahead and roll an extra die. A D10. I don't want to shut up. Okay, so yeah, no, you don't see anything.
Just the one.
It looks clear.
No, just looking around, nothing to see here. Alright, everything's fine.
Are you going through the front door or the back door?
Since it's just the two of us, if the three of us are going, or what are you doing, JT?
Following y'all.
Just the two of us going in the front door?
Yes.
See Strix?
Because I'm
Acting
assuming
kind of like a tourist looking around.
Judd's
all over the
still
place.
invisible.
Yep.
Okay, so yep, you carry them back to Strix, and she's like, what are those?
Well, Hyatt Regency, on the roof, there's a lot of ashes, and I saw that there were cameras pointing into the service elevator that goes up there, and I thought maybe I could find something on one of these.
Okay, I guess I'll browse through these servers and see if I can find something.
Okay.
I mean, if there's a lot of ashes up there, it's possible whoever's beheading. Even though it's just normally beheading, I don't know why they burn them.
Strix, if you have some time, could you give me a crash course on computers? Like, if I'm supposed to steal something out of a computer, what I really should be looking for?
Well, I mean, I can create a program that'll help you out. That'll work. You can look at it on your own time.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, the
Perfect.
kids these days call them YouTube videos and stuff. I can make you something like that.
Okay.
Well, I already got him started. I told him about, how they save stuff up in the cloud.
Yeah, how do you take that?
Yeah, I'm wondering. They think I'm crazy for talking to dead people.
Yeah, it's just a thing called the cloud. It's like the server thing that you grabbed here.
Yeah.
Think very, very big, and often some of the location, the information will travel from there to that location is stored on their servers, and they call it the cloud. It's not actually stored in the fluffy clouds in the air.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
So,
I had him going.
Yeah, I figured it was you.
you
Anyway.
don't want to meet the ghosts that follow you around, okay? Just leave it there.
Okay.
Then he turns around, and behind Angel's like 15 of them going. All right, so she plugs into it, hooks it into her into a safe system. It looks like runs a debugging program on it, verifies there's no viruses or anything on it itself, and then starts running an algorithm through it. I'll let you know when I find something.
Okay.
Did we notice any street cams?
Street. I
Along
mean,
that area?
I wasn't paying attention for any street cameras, but I would think it's safe to assume that there are.
Well, I'd like to give Strix the description of the woman. See if she could run something that may strike some kind of hits of a possible red-headed woman in a leather coat walking down the street in that area.
Possibly with a sword.
Yeah.
With a strange blouse, though, whatever that means.
I wonder if she's thinking of maybe in the old Victorian style blouses that are all poofy and
Wonder if he was thinking maybe a corset
Um,
of some sort.
Did you ever see Vampire Interview with the Vampire?
No.
Okay. How about Pirates of the Caribbean?
Better. Getting closer.
Okay, so apparently Savannah does have cams.
Okay.
Just don't know if there's any in your area.
Oh, historic downtown. There is one on every block, thanks to the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Okay, yes, there is also 2 cameras at the World War II Memorial.
Okay.
So, what you're asking me to
For
do is...
reference, there's also chemical sensors all over historic Savannah.
Because of the port.
Oh, no, actually because of St. Patrick's Day.
Okay. There's chemical sensors because of St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, in case they left it in place from the last I heard, so they can detect bomb materials.
That's why I figured the port was nearby. That's why the reason they did it, but I didn't know St. Patty's Day had something to do with it.
Yeah, well, it's a huge party.
Yeah. Alright, so what you're asking me is to search these servers for... What am I looking for?
How about
Go ahead.
How about we try to find a better picture of her or something?
No, I mean the hotel servers you brought me.
Whoever was staking anyone on the roof, because you said that there was a camera on the elevator.
I'm
Okay,
thinking an
so
hour
you want me to
before dawn.
search all these servers for all these
An hour
hours?
before dawn.
Okay, so you've narrowed it down for me. Okay. And then on top of that, look for some strange redhead walking around in black
with a sword in her back.
with a sword. Okay.
So the description we got was a redhead with a sword on her back, green eyes, black trench coat, high boots, strange blouse, leather pants, near the steakhouse.
Near the steakhouse on.
Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Yeah, Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Okay, so you may check cameras in that area to see if I can find this redhead.
Yes.
Okay. When? I mean, it's a lot of time.
Actually, if you want to be more specific, West Bay and Whitaker Street, and West Bay and Bernard Street would be the two, or excuse me, not West Bay. West Bay Lane, because the body was in back. West Bay Lane and Whitaker Street, or West Bay Lane and Bernard Street.
And Zeke has also gone missing. He was picked up by the feds.
And it sounded like they picked him up where he normally does his, proselytize.
So the ones that have disappeared, it seems, are by the feds. The ones that have been found decapitated are not.
The lady in red.
Okay.
And then we have someone going around staking people.
She just kind of puts her head in her hands and. Okay, so I guess I'm not mixing any music tonight. And then she starts typing away on her computer. And puts her headset on and starts typing away on the computer.
I mean, I would offer my help, but I don't think my senses would be the best for this. If those who had higher senses.
She's like, okay, search this, hack the cameras and find this, create this, hack the FBI once more and find out about Zeke. She's just kind of like counting things off that you've got her doing. If I find out anything on any of those fronts, I will give you a call.
Thank you.
So let me check to see how long this is going to take her.
Probably a night or two.
It'll all depend on how this roll goes. She'll use a wisdom. She ain't got nothing better to do tonight. Why did that roll that twice? It's fine. They're both the same, so I guess it doesn't matter. Alright. Yeah, it's going to take her the rest of the night at least. And that's just to search the servers. Alright, so what are y'all doing?
I think we should just go out and just kind of patrol the area.
I'm alright with doing that.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are going to just patrol around 51 or what?
Well, it sounds like a lot of it's occurring in the historic district here. So, I'm thinking looping through West Bay Lane and then coming back and looping through, probably, East, St. Julian Street. I mean, that's going to cut us through parts as well.
Okay.
But kind of like going through the lanes instead of the main roads, like West Congress Lane. See what we see. I mean, if one of you could, jump into a club every now and again, or a bar, and take a quick look. Or I could.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and give me whatever rolls you wish to give, whether what's an awareness, what's our investigation, and wits or intelligence, however you want to look at it.
Three.
Not bad. Anybody else?
And I'm going to spend a willpower to try to get that better.
Well, You can only roll one. You can't roll two.
Oh, that's right.
One's a
Are
hunger.
you hungry, or have you satiated your hunger?
No, I have not satiated my hunger, so that's
Gotcha.
right. So the 3 does not help.
No, it doesn't.
So-
JT's rolling a 1 for what?
I tried to do the one willpower that I could use.
A natural 1, is that a bestial fail? Natural ones?
Only if it's a hunger dice, right? No, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's
Okay,
only.
gotcha. Yeah, only on hunger. Gotcha.
But I did have a messy critical.
Yes, you did. So,
So I have a 2.
yeah, at some point in time, you jump into a club to try to look for this person, and you get sidetracked. A couple girls out dancing and having a good time. DJ, or the live band that happens to be in this place is playing pretty good music that you remember from back in basic training or something.
Mm-hmm.
Got some.
Okay.
So yeah, that gets you sidetracked from the investigation. Judd and Dom, you both had a pretty good roll on your investigations. Let's see, what do you find? Are you just looking, or are you asking questions, or what?
I'm just looking.
Yeah, same. I'd be looking around and.
All right. So currently, where you guys are like searching at, you don't see. I guess you're looking for the redhead. You don't see the redhead. You do catch a glimpse here and there of other kindred in these clubs, and you're pretty certain they're either, out hunting. You don't see more than 1 or 2 at a time. Actually, I take that back. You see 2 at a time at all times. You never find one by themselves.
Okay.
You guys do this for about 3 hours, getting close to closing time as far as the clubs are concerned. And none of you gave Strix your phone number.
I don't have a phone.
Oh, I know. So, yeah.
I think Christoph has a phone number for me now and one for.
He's got mine.
Okay, so in that case, she would have got your number from Christoph whenever she couldn't get couldn't get through to you the old way. So you guys get a text. Hotel footage is a bust an hour before sunrise. Cameras in the service elevator went dark or staticky. Still need to search the other cameras maybe prior to that hour to see if I see anything out of the ordinary leading up to the elevator, other cameras in the hotel. But I did find out, yes, the SI does have Zeke, and apparently they're holding him at the FBI compound that's here in Savannah. I believe you guys know where that's at.
Yes.
Now, as far as the street cams, I have not been able to search through those yet.
Okay.
Do we feel like pushing our luck and trying to find Zeke? Do we want to do a breakout? Judd?
Well, not right this second.
That would be a terrible idea, I think.
Exactly.
We're on a note.
Oh, go on.
If they're patrolling, they're not going to be at home base. If they're out and about at night.
Oh.
But I think that's a terrible idea.
And I will go on and now sate my hunger since I can with blood bags.
Isn't he part of the camera room?
Yes, he is.
Okay, he is. I thought he was
Let him die.
a little bit of everything since he was just on his own.
He
Do
was-
his thing.
Yeah, he's
He's a
technically
good guy.
affiliated with the Camarilla, but not with. It's a weird situation with him. Seeing as how he's a little nuts.
He's technical. He is known by the prince. He has been introduced to the prince. That's about all he does with the camera.
Alright, I gotcha.
I mean, Zig's a good guy. I would like to get him out, but you know, with beheadings and everything else, truthfully, he may be safer in the hands of the SI than on the street right now.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, your boat's not across the river, is it?
It's somewhere.
Okay. Well, I was just curious if we're across the river, keep eyes up on the.
No,
Okay.
it's not across the river from.
Oh, okay. But then again, after the fire trucks and all that, and now the server's missing, they may not return to that hotel.
Very true.
Yeah. Since
But-
it's probably been compromised, obviously, to them.
Yeah. And then, of course, the whole alien thing.
If they're as careful as they should be, they should not come back.
Yeah. So, Jude, you've been at this a little longer. What would cause it to appear to a street urchin that alien lights were shining up on the building and over the water?
Well, I mean, first of all, you know, top of the building, probably the reason for the light is that, you know, somebody was going poof in daylight.
Oh, okay.
So on top of that, you know, it could be that instead of going up the elevators, was my other thought, they actually arrived by a helicopter
Ah.
and just landed on top of the hut. But, you know, I'm not sure how to figure out if that really occurred or not.
But of all the places, why fly helicopters to the Hyatt to stake them?
Because the Hyatt actually has a helipad.
Yeah,
VIP.
that's true.
And I mean,
Actually, I don't know for certain if it does.
I don't.
Now, I did notice there was a couple of redheads that came out with the
No.
alarm,
Yeah, there's no helipad.
but I didn't see anything off about them.
Okay. Well, I mean, I trust your word on redheads.
I'm just even what is the significance of this particular building with our kind?
I mean, it could be the prince's building for all I know.
Yeah, I would think that if they're willing to put them upstairs there, they have a strong attachment to it.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Probably somebody on the Primogen owns it
okay.
or controls it.
And that's what I was thinking, because of all these buildings, that's just one that has the ashes. Even if they did fly in, why fly?
It's also one of the tallest buildings in town.
Okay.
Savannah's not known for high rises.
I'm just thinking, though, if it was the Camarilla, why wouldn't they just go out towards, the swamps where they try to drop us off at?
You know, unless somebody's trying to send a message. The problem is we just don't know who's doing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can get back to your house or whatever it is. I can get cleaned up, and then tomorrow I can go.
Oh, I don't have a shower.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a old Civil War powder armory, so not a lot of.
Oh, there's an armory there.
Okay, old, dilapidated building.
Okay.
So no, it's not an armory like you're thinking. But
Well, it's soon gonna be, I guess.
yeah. But I mean, you could always go to a truck stop, use a shower there, and clean up there if you want. I don't think most people will care.
Still got a little bit of mud and blood stuck underneath my nails, and some of my clothes are stained.
Well, I mean, I can always get you more clothes. That's not a problem.
Are you very worried about your look right now?
No. If I'm gonna go schmooze some ladies, I might want to, clean up a bit.
Well, okay. Here's another option. Okay.
Okay.
I can get you a room at the Thunderbird Motel. It's very close to where I live, and let's face it, nobody's gonna come looking for you there. I don't think anyone comes looking for anyone there. But you can get a shower. Might not stay on the bed. Don't know if you might have bed bugs there, so really wouldn't care. I mean, bloodsucker to bloodsucker. But at least you can get a shower.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that until we come up with a plan on how we're gonna track down this redhead.
Well, Strix may be able to help us tomorrow on that. But beyond that, I think we're going to have to just kind of start patrolling the city and maybe talking to people in different bars, seeing if they've seen her.
Alright.
I mean, what would be helpful is to get a better description of her. Does she have a straight nose, curved nose, small nose, upturned nose? Does she have big earlobes?
Everything other than just what she was wearing.
Yeah, I mean, like a composite sketch, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I have a feeling she's probably the intense type, too.
Ooh.
Well, going around with a sword on her back, that kind of puts a target on her to begin with.
Yeah. So.
She sounds a little like my ex, but she also sounds really hot.
Well, if that's what you want to go for, go for it.
All right, so what you doing?
What time is it?
It's about 3:30. Running on 4 o'clock.
While we've been driving around talking about this, I'd like to see if I spot any drug dealers on any corners, peddling anything.
I'm going to say with your roll earlier that yes, you do.
Okay. Gonna stop about a block away after we see that, and I'm gonna go say hello.
I will follow you in case you need backup.
I appreciate that, but I'm a little thirsty.
Yeah, but in case there's more than one, I'm following you for backup.
Gotcha. I gotcha. All right.
In case a redhead with a sword shows up.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna go confront them directly. I'm gonna try and see if I see anybody around them, anybody like in an alley or anything like that, before I take them into an alley and forcefully feed from them and take all of their belongings.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and you do find one, but you notice he's got 2 compatriots on the other side of the vehicle from where he's standing.
All right.
And I'm checking out for SI or anything before he goes into action.
Yeah, so I'm all swollen up and buffed up, and I'm gonna talk to him and say, "Hey, I'm looking for something." And I'm gonna pretend that I'm looking for like steroids or uh, something like that to, you know.
Yo, Holmes, you got the wrong corner. I don't do that. I strictly do the white powder.
Well, do you think it would help at all?
For what? It can get you
I'm,
high,
I'm
yeah.
looking for something.
Yeah,
Anything.
it get you high, but it ain't gonna get you buff. But you know what? Hey, 50 large and this right here is yours. Not that I know how much drugs
Yeah,
usually run, but
he's got two people in a car with him.
But he's standing outside.
they're on the other side of the car. He's standing at like the corner where he was just selling. And on the hood of the car on the other side are two guys like smoking a cigarette and talking.
So yeah, I'm going to be talking with him, and then I'm going to be getting a little angry, a little roid ragey, like, "What do you mean you don't got what you can?" And 50 large, that's a little that's not right. That's a little too much.
Yeah, you hear the telltale signs of as somebody makes sure there's a round loaded in their pistols. And the two guys in front of the car point, huh?
Are the car doors open?
Well, they're not in the car. They're on the hood.
I know, but are the car doors open?
No, they're closed. Now you've got two pistols pointed at you. Hey, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't sell that kind of stuff, but if you want some of this, that's the going price.
Somebody mentioned something about the car door being open or them
It's
on the
closed.
hood.
No, I was wondering
They're on
if
the
there
hood.
was a car
You
door.
got two guys. Well, they're not on the hood now. They got pistols pointed at your direction.
Oh, okay. If that's happening, then I'm getting into the driver's side.
And I'm gonna tell this guy that, you know, things can go downhill for him real quick if he doesn't call his boys off, or we can settle this
It
another
can
way.
go downhill real quick for you too once the lead starts flying.
Oh,
But when the driver's side door shuts,
And the car starts going off.
yeah, they're like they're startled. They're pointing their pistols at the car, trying to find out who's it, see if they can see who's in it, but they can't see who's in it because somebody's invisible.
Yeah. Trying to give you time enough to grab him and take him away.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Give me that
I'm good.
brawl and strength check.
Yep.
And I'm speeding off down the street.
And the two
And
guys
they were
are
on the
chasing
hood,
after the
so-
car because they don't understand what the hell's going on. So I'll allow that to be the case.
Okay.
All right. So
See, I'm your wingman. I've got your back.
just a little, just a little bit. That is my grapple to feed roll.
Yep. Why don't you give me a composure roll?
Just composure.
Just composure. Because you've got a very messy critical there.
So quick question: the feeding. I have brutal feed, which lets me feed within seconds.
Oh yes, that's why we're going to determine whether or not your composure is enough to stop from killing him outright.
Shit. And that's why I was asking if it's enough to negate my 2 hunger down to 1 hunger. So if I, may need to roll a willpower, I would have more than no dice to roll. It's a 1 on the composure, but those are both hunger dice after I began to feed. Whereas if, one of those were to go away, it wouldn't fucking matter because it'd still be 1 success, no success on the hunger dice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grapple this guy, push him back behind the building while they're freaking out about the car.
And you drain him dry.
Shit. I'm taking him off down the block.
Don't worry, I'm going to be coming back to check on you.
I am not hungry anymore, so everything's fine. I am completely okay, but I need to get rid of a body.
When I stop, I'm going to turn the radio to a gospel station and then snap off the tuner and get out of the car and just leave it there.
Alrighty then.
And I will then go back and look for Igor.
That's a good question of where he went. He went down the block. They were looking at the car going that way, and he went the other way with the body around a building.
Well, I had a feeling you'd go around a building. I'm going to follow any blood trails.
What blood? I took it all.
Yeah, he took it all.
I took all of the
drops.
blood.
He
There's
just
probably a few drops left.
no. He
Sucked and dry.
yeah. Well, he took it all because he's got that in seconds and drain them thing.
Yeah, brutal feed allows me to, feed on them like in seconds. Like torrents of blood I swallow in seconds. That is a special thing I have with potence. It's not like, oh, this is gonna take a few rounds to feed on them. No, it's just mine.
So I will look around for him. I will actually text him. Where are you?
Yes, I think this, and I'll give him an address, but it's just, I think this, alley.
And I come over. I, again, go to that area and then look for him. And pull some of my blood out. And
So
put a cross on his head.
this is for JT. You were in the car. I went back, and then you're in my car still.
Yes.
I'm not coming back right now. It's been a while.
Yeah. I've heard the loud gospel radio, so I would have hopped in the car and drove down that direction. And to see what the hell is going on.
What did this guy have on him? I mean, he had the crack he showed me.
Oh yeah, he's got a big wad of cash in his pocket, pistol behind his belt, and you got like 15 little baggies of cocaine in his pocket as well.
How much cash?
Give me a moment and I will tell you.
All the baggies of drugs into the drain, into the sewers. It's like those are just gone. He doesn't care about drugs. He hates drugs.
I pulled the guy's shirt off and handed over to Igor.
Thrift
How
store?
much shirt you're in?
Thrift store? He's in a suit.
Well, okay, look, we can get the suit later. Just put a shirt on.
Okay, about $2,000.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, he's got to roll about $2,000 worth of, it's a pretty good size roll. It's got 50s and 20s in there.
All right.
Just give me your clothes until we can get you out.
You get a suit jacket at that point.
Okay, just put a clean shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just figured I'm trying to find a picture for you guys. I put in Faith Hunter, Vampire the Masquerade, and not a single.
Where?
I put Faith Hunter, Vampire the Masquerade. Figured I'd make kind of picture of some Faith Hunters to use as miniatures.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing all these women are named Faith Hunter, or Faith.
Ah, okay.
It's just a couple different women in different poses, and not a single one of them has a damn thing to do with Vampire the Masquerade. Sorry. Go ahead. What are you guys doing?
I was hungry. I needed a sip. That did not happen.
Well, no, that's why I got rid of the body.
Yeah, that's great. Angel doesn't have a phone, but he has my car.
Oh, I got to just give him. I give him the drug dealer. Here, JT, here's a phone.
Yep, I forgot the drug dealer would have one.
Hey, perfect. You can have the drug dealer's phone.
You probably found it in the car on the charger.
Speaking of that, I'll drive by that car. Do I see anybody?
I mean, there's two guys getting in it trying to find the keys.
Alright.
That's about it. I mean, there's nothing else there. They're looking around. You know, one's got his gun pointed at every other direction but the car, trying to figure out who took the car and where the hell they ran off to.
Alright.
Everyone knows Savannah's haunted.
Yeah, but I don't think it was that degree. Yeah, they just jump in your car and turn on gospel music and drive away.
I'll continue on down the road till I spot somebody that
I'll be on.
recognizable to me.
I'll be on the lookout for Angel.
Angel's dead.
And I'm
JT.
holding Igor's jacket and shirt to keep them under wraps. So until he
So I
can get
just-
them clean.
So I just see a floating jacket, or
No. It's just I'm holding it, so it's
okay.
invisible. But you'd see Angel. No, sorry, you'd see Igor.
Yeah.
Well, where's your suit?
Wearing the trouser, the pants. Open up the back door, open up the front door, go in the front door.
Okay.
Things didn't quite go as planned, but everything's fine.
I'm getting in the back seat.
You get another pistol. I just set that on your lap. That's yours.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Um,
Nothing more to say.
I guess that has to do with the car back there playing Christian music and guy with a gun pointing in all directions.
That was a distraction.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a phone? You can have a drug dealer's phone. Nothing could go wrong there.
Sure.
Here.
It'd be kind of like Uber Eats for you, huh? Since you like the drug dealers.
I didn't mean to do what I did, but you know everything's fine. Another piece of. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, why don't you go looking through his contacts, see if any names are on there that we might be able to blackmail.
I'll leave that to y'all. But
Yeah.
Igor, you joined the Clean Plate Club.
I don't think that's my first time. It might be my first time. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, really clean.
Oh, the phone's locked, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here, hand it back. I'm just gonna destroy it.
Okay.
And I will start destroying it bit by bit.
What's Clean Slate Club?
Like I said,
Clean plate.
Oh, Clean Plate Club.
Yeah, nothing left.
remember how you would drink the Capri Suns and there'd be nothing left? Yeah, he was a Capri Sun.
Oh.
I did not mean to do that.
Is it worth coming Clean Slate?
No,
Whatever.
no. I am not hungry at all.
See, you're both lucky. If it happens, I can clean up.
Yeah. And I did that.
Okay. As you guys are leaving this nice little scene, give me a wits and awareness.
Wits and awareness.
That guy was tasty, and I'm a little looking around.
I don't see one from Angel yet.
Un momento. I was seeing if my heightened senses would help out.
Sure, why not?
I will do.
I'm assuming a willpower? You got a 1.
Yeah.
So nobody notices it, not really, except for Dom as he's driving away from the blaring Christian music. You noticed what looks like 4 guys kind of walking together. They're wearing blue jeans. They got light jackets on, plain black T-shirt. But what really stands out is the fact that they've got cross tattoos on their hands, religious tattoos up their arms, and a couple of them look like they got scars and stuff on their face and their body, or in their arms and face.
Yeah, so he's just kind of real twitchy. Take a picture of them. Those guys right there. He stops at a stoplight or stop sign. Those guys, those ones right there, they are sketchy at best.
Take a picture of them.
The crosses, the everything about
Now,
them are.
when you point them out, Angel, being trained as Angel's supposedly trained at, recognizes the way they walk and the way they carry themselves. They appear to be what would be considered special operators.
Yeah. And it's summertime. A little warm to be wearing a jacket. Is it not?
They're light jackets, almost as if they're covering something up.
I think
Light
they're
jacket or not, it's Savannah. In the summer.
If you're not, look alive.
Yeah, I'm looking alive. I'll snag a picture.
They're walking away. He turns signal, goes away from them.
Alrighty then.
It's like, yeah, we will come around to them, go around them. They are walking.
So where you all heading?
I don't know.
Yeah,
kind of.
it's like 4 in the morning.
I think we need to start making our way back home.
Yeah, you two staying together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna make our way downtown?
I'll take you to
No.
his home.
No.
I didn't say anything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Driving. We drive for a while, like a while.
So with your nice little wits and awareness as you're driving, very aware now because of what you saw on the side of the street, you do notice about a block or two away a black Humvee parked in an alleyway.
Humvee. 1, 2, or 3.
No, you only see the one.
No. One. H1, H2, H3.
You can tell
H1 would really stick out.
It's an H1, black, definitely military, not civilian.
And where is it?
In an alleyway.
I mean, just in historic Savannah?
Yeah, just down a side street, maybe a block or two away from the 4 guys that you took pictures of.
Do we see anybody in or around the vehicle?
The windows are up, they are darkened, and there is most definitely a .50 caliber weapon strapped to the hood, the ceiling, the roof. So whether or not there's somebody in there, you don't know.
Let's stop.
I will slow down. You can get out. I am going home.
Yeah.
I did not want to do what I did tonight. And after seeing that, I do not want to die tonight. I think those people are bad news. I don't like the idea of them being around.
Well, I was just gonna pop the hood and take the cables.
Holes over to the side, and before unlocking the doors, I'm going to be 3 blocks away, waiting.
Alright.
Yeah. What are you doing? You have like.
He wants to sabotage the vehicle.
Yes.
Or do you want me to steal?
I am
Actually,
stopping to let you guys do whatever the fuck you're gonna do, and I'm going to go 3 blocks away and wait for like 3 minutes.
why I sabotaged the truck, can you take the 50 cal off?
No. That's gonna take way too much time.
I mean, I could rip it off, but I'm not going to.
Guys just want to go home, we can.
Yeah,
Do
I
what
think
you want.
that's the best.
Alright.
So as you
Current-
drive
Current
away,
signal back into the.
yeah, as the people get back in the vehicles to drive away, you do notice 2 snipers on the roofs above where the Humvee's at.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Mhm.
Yeah, see them pull out my phone, just kind of.
And then you
check
see the window
time.
roll down and a cigarette get flicked out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, there was still somebody sitting in it. They weren't leaving the Humvee unguarded.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, who would believe that?
Not in this town. They already know there's 2 crews that steal shit all the time, and there's been a lot of theft here lately.
Yeah.
Especially high-end vehicles.
Plus, the damn 50 cal on top, that would kind of raise some flags that it's not left alone.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I'm gonna start driving them to Jude's place.
All right.
I'm gonna get him to stop at the Thunderbird Motel so that I can get.
And when you arrive at
key.
this hotel,
Mm-hmm.
give me a second. I've got to do this one.
I can give you the address to it.
Yeah, during the drive, he was weirdly twitchy, weirdly on guard, looking all over the place.
We'll see if this actually works. But yeah, give me the. What do you say it was called? The Thunder.
Okay, if you type in Thunderbird, you're going to get the Thunderbird Inn, which is a high-class hotel.
There's a Thunderbird
it's an
Motel.
old hotel that's become a boutique.
Well, there's also the Thunderbird Motel.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody who's ever stayed at the Thunderbird Motel, I don't know that it's $1 and pay by the hour type hotel. Just don't take my word on that.
Have you seen the pictures of it?
I mean, I'm looking at the front of it now.
Yeah, I mean it is a no-tell motel.
All right, let's see what my little art flow came up with. Oh, that's. I don't know how the hell you'd see any of that. All right, so yeah, he drops you off at the hotel, and there's very scantily clad women like walking around out front. And you see a few people being very cautious as they look around and walk through the door with one of the scantily clad women. You need a room?
Jude,
I'm giving you
Before-
money to get a room.
I'll just stay with you for tonight until we figure out what's going on.
The hell are you doing in here then for? If you're not gonna buy a room, you need to leave. I run a very tight establishment here, and I don't need any of this.
Well, I would have told him this before we even got out of the car. Just saying.
Well, it's too fucking bad. I already started using the voice.
Just the window down, just the. Yeah, windows down.
Yeah,
so
you guys pull up the hotel, and some girl leans in the window. Hey, sugar, you need a date for the night?
I really don't eat dates. I'm more of a raisin.
Ha you're funny.
Why don't you just drive off?
I'll
Goes to Jude's place.
And you drive off. She goes, well, fuck you too, as you drive away.
Okay, and we'll shack up there for tonight. And
And
there's
as
one
you
other
get to
thing
Jude's
I
place,
want to do, but I'll do it tomorrow.
around the side of the place, like back where it's like dark and very wooded, you see a halfway decent looking Jeep. Actually, it looks like a brand new Jeep, to be honest with you. Got a great paint job and everything.
Oh, I wonder whose car that is.
Needed something to drive around.
You drive?
Not
Yeah,
really.
he learned real quick on a van.
Not well, but he can.
Yeah, I mean, I can keep it straight on the road. If you want me to do something special or fancy, no.
Okay. Well, I'll grab my gear out back of his car and pull out my guns and my cot and my whoopee.
And are you staying there or are you heading to your boat?
I'm going to my boat.
All right. So you drop them off. They get themselves comfortable and you head onto the boat. Just as you get on your boat, you get a text. And the only thing on the text is a picture.
Okay.
And I don't know if that showed you.
I did not see anything pop up.
Well, hell. Let me close that. Yeah, it's not letting me actually show you. So what I will do is I will drag this out. No, you're not going to do it? There we go. You see it in the middle of the screen there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the picture that you get on your cell phone.
Okay. She is kind of hot.
All right.
And that is where we'll call it a night.
Okay.
All right.
So let me remove her picture. So where are we? Here we are. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening for our episode of the Kindred of Savannah. Our players are still alive, even though they may have changed their names. They still exist. They've not been staked, they've not been killed, they've not been beheaded yet. So if you enjoyed tonight's game, come back and join us next Sunday to see the continuation. If you just enjoy watching tabletop RPG type games, such as D&D and such, you can join us Wednesday night for some organized play. We're working on the second act for the Lamapardo incident. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the way it was pronounced. And then, of course, we'll be back here Friday for some more Consequences of Chaos with Robert running the game for us. And for those who've noticed, I am playing some God of War Ragnarok on some of the downtime. So if you catch any of those, just hop on, say hi. If you have any questions about the game, I'll see if I can answer them if I've gotten to that point or not. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Remember, we're in this adventure called Life Together, so keep the golden rule in mind. Treat those around you the way you would like to be treated yourself. And with that, have a good week.
Bye.
Yeah.